Buddhas, what up? It's your boy Jarogba. I hope everyone's having a good New Year's. Today's episode is crazy, man. If you guys know Fahid, you know he's no holds barred, he's no DQ. Falls count anywhere with this guy. And this episode is no different. This may be his most outspoken he's ever been on Suited and Booted. He does not hold back. He speaks about working with A-League clubs, how there's some clubs he won't even work with anymore after he doesn't trust them. He speaks about the players under his tenure as an agent and the world around being a player agent and signings and deals and so on and so forth. He gives his views on the A-League being a youth league and how he thinks it's bullshit. What else does he speak about, man? We speak about Juan Mata at Victory and how he's finally finding his feet in the A-League. We speak about Aamir Abdallah, should he play A-League? We speak about the AFCON, Fahid's time in the Tunisian national team, which was a crazy segment. And yeah, man, he just does not hold back. I don't think we've ever had anyone on the pod that is this brutal. It's gonna ruffle some feathers, but he drops some gems, so you do not want to miss this episode. Enjoy.
Are you going AirPods in?
Oh, are they still in?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Sorry, lads. But you're such a fashionista.
Sorry, lads.
You wear sunglasses inside, so...
Sorry, lads.
I mean, the pod starts. What are you listening to?
Like, they're obviously good headphones if you forget they're in.
Are you?
Yeah.
Is that sunglasses? Or you have like the both?
Bit of both.
But mine are as well, but they're not sunglasses now.
Blue light.
No. He's
normal.
Man, he thinks...
Bro,
it's-
this is the
he
greatest...
only wears
Mine are not
sunglasses on the pod now.
This is the greatest
pod.
pod.
Yours are
greatest pod in the world.
I swear to God, bro.
Hey, he goes, mine are not like that, eh? Because if they are, I'll take them off straight away.
It's like weird, bro. I've never...
Hey, this is the best purchase I've ever made in my life.
They are the best, but
Okay.
you can lose them.
Yeah. What is the best money you've ever spent on anything? Like, would you go
a
there, you look
phone.
in your house and you're like, thank God I got that. That is the best purchase
phone.
I've ever made.
My phone.
Oh,
Yeah,
fucking
Fahid
boring.
would
I'll be
not-
cool. I'll be cool.
Yeah.
Fahid would-
Fucking hell, bro.
I'll be cool. The greatest purchase I've ever made
Toilet paper?
that I hated on for like 15 years straight, and I finally got a pair, and they've changed my life, is a pair of Crocs. I don't care what anyone says.
Pair
They're
of
good.
Crocs.
I got something, bro.
You
Did you see mine?
You should be fine for that.
Yeah, I know I should be fine, but they are so
I'll
versatile.
find. Yeah. I use them now. Fahid, you'd be happy to know.
Bro, I clean in them. I work in
I
them.
gotta see you on the street with that for sure. That's 100%.
I've got the plugs in as well. Helen got them
Which
for
plugs?
Christmas for me. Butt plug.
What? Butt plugs?
No. Gibbets.
Bro,
they're
we
called.
need to fucking be rolling
sorry.
here,
We've
man.
been rolling.
Are we
This is all-
rolling?
This is
We're
all
rolling.
in.
Is this in?
Yeah, pause.
Brother, what is going on
Ladies
here,
and
man?
gentlemen, welcome back to Suited and Booted for the 2026 year.
He was completely not paying attention until he heard that.
Yeah.
Did you mean to say
Where
that?
from?
You just said your partner. I just heard you say your partner bought you butt plugs.
No, Crocs plugs.
Crocs
you
plugs.
heard butt plugs.
You're hearing things.
Bro, what?
You didn't say that?
No,
Oh
he's
my
hearing
god,
things.
bro! I am cooked, man. Welcome back. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year,
Fuck.
ladies and gentlemen, from us at Suited and Booted.
We've matured over the break. If you haven't realised.
Do you know what? Do you know what's funny? I purposely did this. I didn't put anything up about wishing people a happy holidays or Merry Christmas or New Year's
Why?
because I find it corny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a post saying Happy New... Everyone's saying it to you. Fucking who cares? Here's the Bruce Jitte pod. 10K on your fucking head top.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey, we got a. I don't. It's not even a guess, bro.
I'm Jarogba. To my left.
Lord Mahazi.
To my right.
Number 10.
You can introduce him.
Well, he's no longer a guest.
The most capped.
He's the
most
most capped.
I'm part of family.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's an extended host, man. Fahid Ben Khalfallah, ladies and gentlemen, he's back.
Welcome back.
He's back on the pod.
Thanks for having me, man.
Man, you were looking suave, bro.
Thanks, bro.
It's hot too, and he's still suave.
When was your last trip to Europe?
Well, my next one is this week.
But when was your last one?
June.
I was there in September. I was in November in Japan, October in Japan, November in Japan.
Because, like, what would you think is... What type of culture do you follow now in terms of fashion, the way you live? Are you fully adopted to Australian way of
Not
life,
in
or do
terms
you
of
still
fashion.
feel like
Well, he doesn't fucking like Crocs.
They're not in terms of fashion.
nah?
Europe-
European?
fashion?
Yeah.
European.
Right, he
for
looks.
Sure.
Hey, for those
like,
that-
but in terms of culture, yes. Now
For those that don't know,
I'm a
if you haven't tuned into our pods with Fahid before,
not in football.
Fahid is now
Here we go.
Fahid is now what we call Ari Gold, big time football agent.
Don't say that,
He
bro.
can't even have his phone out of his hand.
Don't say that.
But that's,
Who
that's
would
the
you like?
context.
Who would you want to be likened to instead of Ari Gold? Because Ari Gold is funny.
crazy.
Nah, it's crazy. Nah,
He's crazy.
Who's
he
the
made me
biggest
laugh.
agent in the world? Who's the biggest
I
agent?
don't know, man. You've got obviously
Jorge?
George Mendes.
George
Yeah.
Mendes.
Like you've
yeah.
got some of them. Like there's massive companies like Wasserman, Base.
Wasserman.
Like they have a lot. There's a lot of companies, but I don't know, man. I'm just trying to do my own things. I kind of like really don't care about what people think or trying. I don't have any social media, so people don't know what I do, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't bother me. Like I don't need to prove or to try to show off.
Well, it doesn't
and this
affect
and
your
that.
job.
But
I mean, it will help, but
Yeah, but-
but at the same time, I really don't care.
Well, because you don't want to have.
I don't wanna
How
be
many
in
players
pictures
you
of-
got, and you don't want to have more than
I-
that, roughly,
nah,
right?
So 20, and I will not take anyone else.
Yes,
And to be honest,
yes.
some of them, for example, I know
20.
that will probably stop. I don't want more.
yeah, so if you're listening to this and you're
And you don't know.
you're thinking of sending in a video to Fahid's phone,
I
if you
Don't
on
do it.
WhatsApp or something.
Bro, I actually do receive a lot. I can show you how many people are texting me, like parents, and I respect that and I appreciate.
Yeah.
I'll just try to, even players like currently doing quite well in A-League, not interested. Because first of all, I really want to look after the players I have.
Yeah.
And I want to spend time with them. I want to travel. I want to see them. Some of them are doing well. Some of them are struggling sometimes, whatever, but you have to be with them. And I want to speak with the players like every time, having time. Traveling, everything is crazy. Sorry.
Ari
Put it
Gold-
this way. Put it this way. If we're getting messages on our TikTok account saying, "Hello, I'm 20 years old from Kenya. I'm striker and attacking midfielder."
That was my cousin, bro.
I know it was your cousin, but but imagine what Fahid's getting.
Your cousin's
No,
hit
it's-
us up.
No, he has.
It's yeah, that's the reason why. And the reality also is like I want to try to get players that can go to Europe and have the mentality.
Does anyone
And-
work for you, or is it just you?
No, just me. I do collaborate with people, everything.
Okay.
But I have my own thing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if the players doesn't have, if he doesn't have the level to go to Europe, and I'll tell you straight away, bro. Even if the player he's really good, but if he's a dickhead, I'm not interested.
How long can
I
you
wouldn't-
notice if like how many games or how long will it take for you to
me,
notice?
it's about potential. Like you see the player straight
Okay.
away. Sometimes you don't need to have a good game. Like it's about the movement, the pace, the strength, abilities, everything. Like let's take last year you watched someone like Dylan Leonard playing at 17 years old. For me, what I saw was like really, I was impressed. And then you meet the kid and the parents and the family, and you said, okay, there's a lot of things. I look at Mo Touré.
Who reached out to who?
I reached out to him, and people actually asked me when he was playing in NPL to
Okay.
reach out to him, which I didn't want to do because it's young, everything. And then I actually called him. I wanted to sit down
I
with his
remember
dad.
he
but-
told me early in Leonard's starting career for Western, because he played almost every game last year,
He
huh?
played every game.
Out of, like, he's not even left footed, but he played left centre back, and he played every game at 17 and probably made like 4 mistakes, 5
That's
mistakes.
Bro, can you tell the story of
crazy.
when you were speaking to the football director of whichever club that you were speaking to about him? About the left foot, right foot thing? Do you remember this?
Yeah,
Can you say it?
Yeah.
there's players like, first of all, when we were talking to clubs, I was talking to clubs about him and everything, and I was like, look, his potential is unbelievable. The kid is terrific and everything. And first of all, was about the height. It was like, man, he's too small. I said, no, he's not, man. I can't. He's actually very tall. I actually asked him to measure himself. So he had to fucking do it against his wall, everything, to see he was 188. Because
Right.
some of the club below 185, they're not interested to look at the centre back.
Well, that's
Below
just shorter than me.
185, 186,
Yeah, he's
they're
tall.
not looking at it. I even spoke with someone we know, Mathieu Delpierre, when he was at Stuttgart, and he was like, there is a minimum for centre back. Like the size, the height is very. And then I was like, he said, oh, we're looking for a right footer, everything. I said, he's a right footer. And I was like, I mean, I said, he's a right footer. He plays on the left side and he plays like a left footer, but he's a right footer. So you speak with people, they said they don't even notice sometimes, like, okay, he's got both feet. Nah, he's one of the players, but you look at, for example, Mo Touré, Moussa, like Rafael Borges players, like different, like Bernardo Oliveira. For me, Yaya Doucouré, for example, today, they have something special. What I like is like, okay, you need the strength, you need the pace, you need skills. At one point to go to Europe, when I look at some players, okay, they not technically great, but it's the whole things. And today
is Yaya
Europe,
under you as well?
he's with me.
Yeah.
He's not under me. We work together.
We work
he's
together.
My boy. He's
My
my
bad.
boy.
Yes.
But he's one of the players since the beginning. To be honest, I've been with him now for a long time. But he's the same. I don't know why I have a lot of boys from Adelaide. From
You have all of the.
Yaya, Musa, Lassan.
He has all the African community in Adelaide.
No, not all of them, but
On a
not all of them.
The
But
He
like
does
Bernardo Oliveira is from there. Rafa Borges is from there. Like Johnny Yole now is from. There's a lot of kids actually.
But that's
because they're all
obviously
friends.
because you've done well with one or
Yeah,
two.
and then
You've helped them,
some
and
of
then they've
them
gone,
obviously
"Oh,
called
can you
me,
help my
which I
friend as
refused,
well?"
But some of them called me, and when Mo Touré called me, I was like, "Bro, you need to help my friend
Yeah,
Arias."
exactly.
He was like, "You need to help my friend Arias, everything," and I was like, "Look, man, I need to go watch him play first, like, to make sure." He said, "Man, he's my best friend, everything." So when it's like that kind of stuff, for me, it's like family. Like Mo and those players, to be honest, I'm talking, they're like young brothers to me. Like I really can't, like for me, Mohamed, Alassan, all of them, then you build a relationship with them. And that's the way I want to do things. And that's why I'm not interested to have more players. And if I don't have that connection with someone, I'm not interested. It's a waste of time, man. Like, and I'll be honest, half of the players in this league, they think they're good enough to go to Europe. They're not. And I'm not going to lie. I will never lie to a club when I go there. If I come to you and try to sell one of my players, it's because I believe in him. And if he's not ready, I'll tell you straight away he's not. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm not going to jeopardize things. But the players I look after, I believe in them. So it's easier because I don't fucking want to lie.
So are you saying that there's agents out there that are just with players for their pay cut and that's it?
Nah, I mean, there's everything.
Because you're saying you have a connection, you have a strong
No, it's me
connection
personally,
with,
but because I had the same agent my whole life.
Okay.
Never signed any contract with my agent. So it's like you have that trust in him, never worked with anyone else, but he was like a big brother. I look up to him, and when I became an agent, I was like, I want to be like him. To build that relationship, to have friendship, brotherhood, everything. I was like, okay, I know they can trust me. I want to trust them. I look at someone like Mohamed, every time he gets a message from agents, everything, and he sends me the screenshot, not interested, talk to him or whatever. But they also know I will collaborate with people. If you call me and ask me about my player, I don't give a shit. Like, seriously, if it's going to help my players, great, man. But, man, I'm more than happy to do the deal, everything. It's fine. I don't have any ego, and it's because of the players. That's why I wanted to become an agent. There's good agents, bad agents. There's people who have no idea what they're doing and trying to take money and trying to take a piece. And there's good agents, even in this country. There's a couple of them. They're doing a good job, to be honest.
Is the agent world what you thought it would be?
Yeah, but we're in a small market, bro. Compared to Europe, like it's not like here. You still have fucking 2 or 3 decades thinking that they're trying to come after your players or trying to screw players, and I have no respect for that. And one day I will name them, 100% sure. But there's also very good agents who are trying to do the good thing and trying to work for the players and really care. You need to have a good relationship with clubs, but tomorrow there's 2 or 3 clubs in A-League. I don't even talk to them. I'll tell you, bro, there's only 12 clubs. 3 clubs I will refuse to talk to them because they lied about the players. They promised contracts. They refuse to, like, kind of, oh, we'll get you a contract. We'll extend his contract, and the player is waiting for 2 months. And it kind of like, okay, you trust them, but you call, kind of like, okay, I'm cautious, I'm very careful. And then they don't offer the contract and kind of like, oh, no, yeah, we'll see, whatever. I have no respect for that. So it's a small league here, to be honest. Like, it's different. In Europe, agents will go after your players every time. Like, they will try to do this. And I see when I have players in Europe, they get a lot of phone calls from agents. But then it's like, man, you have to trust yourself, the way you work, people you collaborate with and you work with, and there's a way to do things. And if you do the right thing, look, players will stay.
Can
with
I
you.
ask, you said there's 3 A-League clubs that you won't work with.
I won't tell you which one because...
I'm not going to ask who they are. What I was going to ask is...
There's 2 or 3 clubs, yeah. I would say... Yeah, two 2 clubs.
I was gonna ask, are there clubs overseas where that's happened, where you've thought, I'm never working with you again?
Not at the moment.
Okay.
Not in Europe at the moment.
Not at the moment.
No, not at the moment, because it will happen. No, the only thing for me is about trust.
Yeah.
I understand the kind of world I live in, and I mean, it's more about if you don't want a player, there's nothing wrong. That's your opinion as a coach, as a sporting director. Just be honest. That's it. If in A-League, for example, there's no transfer and whatever, so it's a little bit different. You can't move a player whenever you want, everything. If a player is not playing and you can see the coach is not playing him, but the club still wants to keep him because they don't want to let him go to another team, I don't respect that. So I understand there's no issue. But if you tell me, okay, he's not going to play and I don't want him, man, that's fine. That's your opinion. Who am I to tell you, oh, man? No, seriously, I have a lot of respect for that. We try to find a solution. And a lot of clubs work like that in Europe. There's clubs here in Australia, to be honest. I have a very good relationship with some of them. They do the right thing towards players. They actually care for players. And if they can help them to go to Europe, they will straight away do it.
How different would your job be if there was a transfer market in the A-League?
Well,
like, would you be more involved in the A-League rather than trying to get players over? Like, I know the end goal is to always get them to
because the level is not good enough. Today, the A-League is going towards, I think it's really bad. And some people are trying to be positive or whatever, which is crap. It's just like, it's not going the right way. The potential is there to do something really good, but the direction is bad. Like some of the clubs, who's gonna pay for anyway? Like between clubs here, except like top 3 or top 2 or top 3 clubs.
Yeah.
Like some of the club, like Central Coast, Brisbane, everything, they can't even pay anything or whatever to some players. Some of the clubs are struggling to pay superannuation, and how are you gonna ask them to pay a transfer fee for a player? Doesn't make any sense.
Does that mean that then the clubs can do the things like the dishonest or the, let's say, not the right way, like not deal with the player in the right way and get away with it because there's no transfer option?
I think here I think you have to be smart also, because you work in both ways. Me personally, my players are everything. I care about them. Like as I said, for me, they're young brother, so I will work hard for them. I will compete. I will fight if I have to. But in the same time, you're not gonna screw a club. If you have a player who's not gonna be good enough or whatever, there's no point, like, to try to take him there. Like if he's not good enough, like you're losing your reputation, credibility, and it doesn't make sense. So that's why it's important to work with players you believe in and you think, okay, they're gonna be good enough. The fact is, how can I say it? It's just, for me, it's just about honesty. If sometimes club here, they think because there's only 12 clubs, they can dictate things. No, you can't.
Yeah, that's what my question is.
You don't dictate
why do you
anything.
think that they can get away with doing that?
Because a lot of people are desperate to get a contract. And I said it this morning. I was talking to one of a club in A-League. When you have the right players, at one point clubs will have to call you. And sometimes based on the player, if he's a young one, yeah, you need to ask the club to help you, everything. Look, man, he's good. I believe in him. But I don't ask players or clubs to do me a favor. The difference is, like, when I go to a club and I offer even a young player, it's because I know the young player is good enough to go to Europe. Or at one point, he's got the potential to become a very good player in A-League. So I don't beg. And I said, look, man, he's good. If I'm telling you he's good, you should know my reputation. And I'm not a dickhead by saying, oh, man, get him a contract because I'm helping a young player. If the young player is not good enough, first of all, I don't want to look after him. As simple as it is. And some of the clubs here, they think, oh, it's only 12 clubs. If you don't work with them, man, don't work with me. That's fine. I don't need anyone to leave, man. My life is good. Like, you know what? If they're not here, but some of the players I have, some of the club will be begging me to sign them. So
how many you got in A-League right now?
Well, maybe 10, 12, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 10, 12.
When you came to league, obviously you mentioned the quality of the competitions dropped, which a lot of people agree with, even us. But what for you has been the biggest difference from the day you came to now?
crowd. The crowd is massive. Financially, obviously. So it's weird what I'm going to say, because I think the last 2 or 3 years we've had visa players that were like we never had. So the way we've signed some of the visa players doesn't make sense. But you look at someone like Juan Mata, he's obviously arguably the biggest or second biggest name with Del Piero here, and he's a world-class player. Tolga Arslan, Valère Jama, everything. Even when I was playing, I don't think we had a lot of players with that quality, like Marcelo, Morgan Schneiderlin, and everything. So the last couple of years, we had some very, very good players. But a lot of clubs actually are not signing the right ones. Some of them they're not better than Ozzy. So it doesn't make any sense to go bring a foreigner if he's not better than a young one. But we're just going with young players, and I hate it.
Okay,
I think it's crap. I think it's disgusting. What I see sometimes, like you play young players because you have to play them, and not because they deserve it. And it's hurting the league so bad.
So you don't think it's a good direction? Because everyone talks about, we have to go in a new direction, and we have to become a product league, and we have to sell the players.
Hey, you're gonna sell a TV to who? Who's gonna fucking watch this crap? Like, I'll be honest, man, because you know what? The reality is, like, who wants to watch NPL teams or whatever?
No. But what people are saying is that we should become an export league so that we can.
You're not gonna be an export league in the next couple of years, because clubs you talk to today, the last couple of years. So let's take 5 years. Okay, from 5 years. Before that, actually, the clubs weren't selling a lot. 5 years ago, you had players like Moture were coming, Gauchi a couple of years, Iron Kunda, those players were Sydney FC. Some of them went overseas and blah blah. Jordi Boss, everything. So the last couple of years, you had that, and some very good players with a lot of potential. Today, you look at the league and you said, okay, some of the young players are playing, but they're not good enough to play. So
they're just playing because there's no one else.
Exactly. So, but a lot of clubs now in Europe, in MLS, in Japan, everything, they know that. They can see that, because a lot of them who went to Europe the last couple of years, it's not working. So they realize the gap is getting bigger. Right. And what's happening is the mentality also for a lot of Aussie boys. They're not strong enough. So as soon as they don't play, because they think they're superstars here, they don't play there, they want to come back. After 6 months, 1 year, they come back into A-League. And then it's a bad look. And then overseas, they start thinking twice about signing those players.
But how do you've got 10 or so players in the A-League. How do you talk to them mentality-wise if the league is bad and you're trying to get them overseas?
No, because you
what
have
are you
to
telling
stay.
them?
For example, like if you don't play in A-League, first of all, I don't lie to my players. If you don't play in A-League, how am I going to sign you overseas? Man, and you know what? I respect myself. I don't lie to clubs or whatever, so I don't want to be that kind of person.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to lie to players. If you're not ready, and if I think you're not ready, why would I try? Like, let's take Yaya Doucouré. Today, I think he's one of the most exciting players in the league.
For sure.
I think he's doing really well. Last year, he wasn't playing. So we had discussion also about that. If you're not starting every single game, it doesn't make it easy. Now you need to become a consistent player, play consistently, and also have stats, getting there, everything. Yaya is getting there. You can see his potential. Sometimes it happens, depending on the age as well. Everything for me below 19 years old, when you get offered from Europe, you need to go there, even if you haven't played a lot, because you can develop yourself, everything. When you're 21, 22 years old, clubs in Europe or MLS, whatever, they don't sign you to be a squad player.
Yeah, you want to be a starter.
You need to be a starter.
Yeah.
So if you don't play at a certain age in A-League at 22 years old and you're not a very good player, you don't have the level at one point. 18, 17, 19 years old, for me, it's about the pay of potential. And that's what happens with Moture when he left, Yaya when he first came there. But Dylan, even though he played the full season, you pay those players because you can see the potential and they have a high ceiling. At 23 years old, it's not about potential. It's about what you can do straight away now. So let's take someone like Niko Milanovic last year. He was one of the best players, if not the best player in the league. He went to Aberdeen, everything. He's 23, 24 years old. You need to play at that age. And if you don't play, before making a move to Europe. Then when you go to Europe, it's different competition, different mindset and everything. So, but it's about that. For me today, I look at a lot of clubs playing 18 years old, and I have nothing against those young players. But you play them because you kind of like, oh, we're going to try to sell them. We don't have any relegation, everything. Well, it's crap because they don't have the level. And today you look at defenders, they can't defend in the league. Like we cop 4 goals, 5 goals, 5-4, everything at 1 point. It's not a good look.
Yeah, bro, this is really important that you've just sort of touched on this, because a lot of people the last 2 years have been saying we need to be an export league, right? And we've started to do it a little bit. We're selling quite a few players, young players, and we're giving a lot of young players games to try to, fit this model. One of the things that I always experienced whenever I went to another country was like, if you're an Aussie, your reputation or the respect that people give you, the foreigners give you off the bat is pretty bad. Yeah. You kind of got to earn your respect. It's not like a Brazilian where like, oh, he'll probably be a good player just because he's got a Brazilian passport, right? One thing that happened to me when I was in Korea, it didn't happen to me, but there was a player there, I won't say who it is, but there was a player in Korea that created a bad reputation at that club for himself. And that club then rejected another Aussie player because he said, I'm never having Aussies again because of this player, the first player that was there, right?
That's fucked.
Are you saying that clubs overseas are now starting to go, the reputation of Australians is not going up, it's kind of going down? You mentioned something of that.
Yeah, because if you look at the league and if you come and you're a scout, a sporting director, you come and watch the league, and that's a lot of them also do that. You look at the league and the quality and you said, okay, some of the game are poor. Some of the defenders, everything can't defend and this and that. So you need to look at the whole potential. And sometimes for me, when I see a lot of young players trying to go to Europe, yeah, great, man. I'm the first one. I want to take players to Europe, MLS, everything, of course. But if you have that potential, let's take Portsmouth, give you an example. The first one, they have a lot of Aussies, and the last couple of years. When Kusini Engi went there, they didn't pay nothing to get him. It was very successful the first year. So unbelievable professional, like a top person, everything, and he did really well. All of a sudden, it opens the market for Aussie players to go to Portsmouth, because I look at him and said, man, if they're all like him, work ethic, great work ethic, everything, then you open the door to Aussie players. You go to other clubs, and when it doesn't work, and they said, oh, yeah, but he's lazy. They don't train enough. As soon as they train hard, they break down because we don't have enough games in the league. You train 3 times a day or twice a day for like 2 weeks, they get an injury. So then they start looking at it, they're not ready physically. So you can put doubts in clubs' mind, and they look at, you don't have a lot of chances. So we do have players playing at a certain level here. But if you go to a club, and I always tell young players, when you go to a club, you can open the doors to Australian players.
Yeah, big time.
Mohamed Touré at Renders did really well. To be honest, when I went, because I was talking to them for the club to sign Musa, and I think Musa is an unbelievable talent. I think he can be very successful because of Mohamed. Even if he was his brother, everything they we can see, and I think he can work. So they've signed him because Mohamed was doing well. If Mohamed was a disaster there, it closed the door. So it's all about also the professionalism, attitude.
But are we only we're an interesting country, because that's not going to happen with every country. You're not going to sign. I think it's
because they got receipts of other good players.
Exactly. So I think it's like a unique situation with Australian players of like, because there are so few of them. You're not going to do that with a Brazilian. You're not going to do that with an Argentinian. What? Just because someone
to some extent, but not obviously nowhere near that level. Yeah, 100%. Nowhere near that level.
I think just on the the export league as well. I think that's the biggest bullshit ever.
Dude, why?
Well, we don't have a choice.
That's my
like
point.
They're saying we're an export league now. Like James Johnson went on that TalkSport in the UK and said Australia's do it. Like we've decided to go. No, you didn't. The bad management of the league is we don't have a fucking choice.
That's exactly right.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, well, we can't import.
Right.
As Fahid said, if we imported well, like we did previously, it attracts numbers.
But
do you know what I mean?
But and Jake, you do.
Exporting is good, but I'm saying we don't have a choice. It's not our strategy.
Import well.
It's our only option.
Hold on, and I am involved in that. You can import well.
But it's just like some people not to change the level of people coming to games.
Let's say. But also that's why I would love clubs here to understand, or some clubs understand it well, some clubs don't. So no, it's when you have the chance to get someone like Juan Mata, for example, or Torgay Arslan, or some very good import players, they're gonna make your young players better. They're gonna there's things it's you can't put a price on that, where the professionalism, looking at someone, okay, he's gonna teach you what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat, the training, when you see some players, the way they work hard after training, everything. Like Damian da Silva, we spoke about it a couple of times with someone like Popa. He was the best example. Goes to the gym, does these things, everything.
But of course, but they take a huge sacrifice for him to come.
Yeah, but it
At
does,
the
but
moment,
it's possible.
that's why
But
some
it's
of them
about.
go
But what
again-
I'm saying is, like, a lot of clubs actually don't want to sign those players because they said, oh, yeah, they have too much, like a little bit older, everything. It doesn't matter. It's about the quality. And having those young players, older players, will help younger players to get better, and then you can sell even more.
Yeah.
The problem is, like, now it's like, oh yeah, we need young players. Young players on their own, it's rubbish. It's crap. And to be honest, I don't want to watch that. I want to go to the A-League, watch some really good players, everything. I want to have a mix of both, but I want to see young players when they deserve to play,
So
not
think
because they have to.
what Jake's saying is that financially we can't import because they don't
Well,
have enough
for
money.
him
Is that what you're saying?
We can because.
So yeah, are you saying that?
But it's the players that he's referencing some of the best imports we have in the league at the moment. I believe are making a huge sacrifice to accommodate, their point of their career, the lifestyle of Australia, to be a
you
professional
mean
football.
financially?
Yeah, they're not fucking
Of
coming
course.
here
But
to,
bro,
to
you
make
have,
money.
but that's what I'm saying. Despite that,
So
even if
you have to be
financially we're not,
creative.
you have to be. But you can find, like, there was a player from Real Madrid who wanted to come. He was 34 years old. He played for Real Madrid, played for the Spanish national team, captain of Real Sociedad and everything. Wanted to come to A-League, and to be honest, I was like, it's silly for clubs not to take him.
If anyone can work that out at home,
Nah,
that's
be
that's
honest,
impressive.
and it's actually
Joey
silly.
K will know.
I think
It's
I-
actually silly.
I know
not-
who it is.
I think I know who
yeah,
it is.
it's silly, and a lot of clubs are like, you should, and not on big money, because he wanted to come. And you have a lot of players. I'm not telling you everyone. It's hard sometimes because the finance is not it's not easy, but you have a lot of players all around the world that want to come to A-League. Seriously, like even for next year, I've got players contacting me that want to come to A-League. The problem is, like, you speak with certain people
Why?
at clubs because the lifestyle
Yeah.
experience. No, it's not
Playing
just a
the
lifestyle.
paradise, bro.
Sometimes people also, like, I mean, personally, I made that decision. I had other offers to come to instead of coming here, but I really wanted to come here because I wanted something totally different for my family, different
Yeah.
experience.
Okay.
Matthew Del Pierre, the same, like, and
So that's
Juan-
our selling point of Australia.
Of course it is. Like,
Yeah.
it's people see that as a unbelievable country,
Okay.
lifestyle and everything, and you can see it as, okay, MLS started maybe 10 years or 20 years before the A-League. Now it's there. The level of the MLS is not crazy like Europe, but financially, the resources, the stadium, they're improving so much. The A-League, we're going backwards. So we are supposed to, you have everything, you can attract players, and every year you have better players coming.
a big component that I'm seeing at the moment, because I don't want to hammer some of the young players, because
What,
there
is
are
that they want to come on Suited and Booted?
no, because there are some young players that are actually playing really, really well.
Yeah.
Before he got injured, Ocon Jr. was unbelievable. Max Caputo was top scorer in the league in the first 5 rounds. So there's players in that age bracket that are doing really well. I think where I'm challenged with where the league's at the moment, kind of alluding to Fahid's point, is if you play a very bad game, and I'm talking like we watched the game on the weekend, there was a couple players that didn't keep a pass for 60 minutes, bro. Like, I'm not even kidding. They will start next week.
Because
They'll
there's no
start
one
Because
else.
of the lack of the competition.
Yeah,
Well,
so like
Jake-
Fahid, Rashid, think of a game you played in victory. If you didn't have a good game, you're out. And Milligan and Valeri and Broxham, you're waiting 4 weeks to get back in. So that competitiveness drives the quality.
But
too.
is that an unrealistic comparison with the amount of money that's in the game in
I
Australia
think-
at the moment?
But even
Jake's-
so, that after the 11, the bench now
Yeah.
is kids.
Like, yeah, okay.
But we should have disagreed with Bruce on this when he was saying.
But so take that as an
No, but Adelaide's unique, bro. Because
No, but that's crap, bro. Let's say yesterday you watched a game Adelaide.
no.
Central
That's
Coast.
not the kids I'm talking about. The kids, they've half their teams in the 23s.
Adelaide is a very good club in A-League, organized. Like, they've been doing well for years. They've been selling. If there's one club that's been selling players, it's them. You should reinvest that money. at one point within the club and everything. The problem is like now you're just going with young players, and it's not working because some of them, first of all, don't have the talent they had. Like when you take Nesta, Mohamed, Musa, Gauchi, and everything, so they don't. With all due respect, like it's not against the teams, the players. Sorry, it's more about when you put all the kids together at one point and they don't have the level. It's a bad look. It's not working.
But let me
do you
just
know
ask
what's
you a
happened with
direct
Adelaide,
question.
though?
Let me ask a direct comparison. Take our team, Victory, the one that he just gave the example of, Carvalhair and Milligan and stuff, right? And you compare it to Victory today. Is there enough money to create a team similar to that today?
Yeah, 100%, bro.
So you
But
think it's just mismanagement
bro,
of the clubs? It's not about the money. It's
The Victory now is pretty good.
No,
Like,
hold
their-
on.
Their backline's different, but they're
Yeah,
pretty
but hold
good
on, bro.
overall.
You take Mathieu, myself, everything. We didn't have big salaries, so we still came to the league. We didn't have a lot of salaries. We extended after. We couldn't be marquee. Like I had clubs they wanted me, for example, personally or Mathieu. We stayed at Victory because we liked it and we were happy at Victory. So you still find a way to attract players. Like it's some Diego Castro when he first came here, whatever. Like he was one of the best players. Ninkovic, everything when they came, they went on big money at the beginning. They've extended their contract and became marquees after. But Thomas Broich, everything when they came, or Berisha or whatever, they went on big money. So you had to go. You have to go there.
Do you think
very
it's got,
interesting, bro, because
do you
this
think it's
you
got something
have
to
to
do
go
with?
there and
Do you
be
think it's
smart.
got something to do with like the new leagues popping up with all these money though?
It's crap, bro. The salary cap is there to. It's just a stupidity. Some clubs they spend money on players they don't deserve it. You don't have the right players. Sometimes you have clubs signing players, giving them like a 3 years contract, hoping they will sell them in 2 or 3 years, and then you don't, and then you're stuck with those players for 2 years on big contract because you don't know what's gonna happen. It's about being smart, having a strategy. You spoke about some young players saying, "Oh, yes, they're doing well." 5 games we speak about a player going to the national team.
Yeah, that's
what kind of
crazy.
respect do we have? Like seriously, and I have so much respect for someone like Popa. I think he's one of the best coach. Seriously, the best Aussie coach. Everything. If I was a coach, you talk about players who played 2 games, 3 games, they scored 2 goals. Oh man, these guys should be. Are you fucking serious? Man, look at the league, how we are. Who is the best goal scorer today in the league? 5 goals or whatever?
Soya,
At the moment, 5 goals.
Yeah.
Okay, so
It's 10 games.
5 goals, 11 games or whatever. And
But
the
Fahid,
defenders.
I
like-
agree with you, but
and-
who else is there to put to talk?
So don't
bring
talk
up?
about the national team at one point. Stop fucking like pumping young players because they've played 2 games. And to be honest, today I'm an agent, for example. If you play 2 good games, I don't give a shit. Like, especially if in Australia, you need to be consistent. You should play 10 good games, everything. And they need to stop making them think, oh, you guys are good enough. Because then they go to Europe and they get smashed, or they go to MLS and you don't play and you cry and blah, 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 and you want to come back here. No, the reality is like, make it hard. You need to deserve it. If I was a sporting director, coach here, my young players, before they played 15 games, are not allowed to get in the training rooms with professional players.
Okay,
Like, you know what?
can I ask you a
You
question?
need to earn it.
If you were in charge of a club, from what I'm understanding, you're saying you would much prefer there a mix of senior professionals and young, not just all young. That's what you're saying.
100%.
But everyone would want that.
But you want,
Yeah,
you have
but
to.
He's saying financially you can actually achieve
Yeah,
Okay,
it
that's
now.
the interesting
You
part
have
because
some
everyone has
example,
used the get out of jail free card of saying we don't have the money to create that balance.
That's Jake's point.
No, they
But,
do.
yeah,
okay,
that's
so
interesting.
everyone has the same
And
salary cap.
he's saying, well, technically, no, there's ways.
Everyone
like
has the
it's
same
harder,
salary cap.
yes, but you can still do it.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah, okay.
Okay. Sydney FC, they have some very good players, good young players. They've got a good mix. Auckland, the club has been around for 2 years. They won the league, good experience, mixed of Sakai, everything. Sakai has played for Marseille, played in Japan, national team, everything, top player, and they've got some good young players. You take Victory, when you look at their squad, they have some very good
But
players.
is it fair to
They've got
say then some teams aren't paying the salary cap?
Well, fuck them. Like I want to end the
But like,
I mean, you know what? If
Yeah,
you
think
if
about it.
no,
True,
that's
true.
true. Because they save. Okay, so
I
that's,
know, but I'm just saying. So
It's
like,
not an excuse.
no, but
It
it's
is.
framing why there's a discrepancy of like, okay,
there's
some
couple of
clubs
clubs.
management, some clubs actually can't afford
But the league, okay,
to
but
run on the full salary cap.
Jake, the league should force. You have a minimum to spend. There's a minimum to spend in a league. So at one point, if they don't spend, they have to spend that. But if you're gonna have a club wasting time here and just trying to be in the A-League without doing and trying to compete. And maybe at one point find another club, find someone else to come, and you know what, take the license back and give it to someone else, because it's a waste of time to have 2 or 3 clubs not doing anything for the league. They're hurting the league. When you look at some clubs, Victory spend money, Sydney FC spend money, Auckland spend money. A club like MacArthur, they spend money. They've got the same thing. MacArthur, they've got a lot of young players. They go with experienced players. They've signed Da Silva, Caceres, everything. So they have good players around. They've signed now Duke, actually, who's coming back. So they go there to get the experienced players.
They're going to be
They've
coming,
got some.
man.
They've got some good young players. Like you take Bernardo Oliveira. They've got Bosniak and all those kids. Like, so they have a good mix. So you can build that. When I hear clubs saying,
So you're saying too much excuses.
it's too many excuses. It's because the lack of competence. Like seriously, for some people at the clubs.
Well, this is aligned with what
so
Bruce
at one
said,
point you need to
the
go
quality
and
of
you need to
ownership.
have a proper plan. Like you need to think, okay, we need experienced players. We need top professional players that are gonna help to educate the kids. You need to try. If the best 14 years old lives in Darwin, you got to find a way to bring him to Melbourne or Sydney or whatever. And if you have to pay for his education, you have to relocate him. You need to do that kind of stuff. You need to be able to do that. You need to, Victory, for example, or other clubs, they just try to sign players from their state. Adelaide, when I hear people saying, Adelaide, we just want players from South Australia, that doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you just stick to it? Just play in NPL? When I hear Brisbane now saying, oh, yeah, we want to be Queenslander. Yeah, good, man. Like, it's not football. It's the football allows you to sign players from Korea, from Brazil, from Argentina. You've got 5 spots. I don't understand where, for example, in A-League, if you don't have 5 foreigners, it doesn't make sense. Why would you not have 5 foreigners that can help you? Like, since which clubs have won the league without 5 top foreigners, or like 3 or 4?
Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas, because I'm not over this. I'm not like on top of this shit. So there are clubs currently in the A-League that don't have 5 foreigners.
Only Jake would know. I don't know that.
I'm not 100% sure.
Western Sydney have one. Western Sydney is one of the clubs.
Really?
Cruyff.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, I guess he's right.
Let's have a look.
I might be wrong.
Western
Yeah, if you're thinking about who's just
Cruyff, I think.
You're not going to count Costa, basically.
Costa I don't think
not
counts.
Yeah.
So you explain to me.
Wow.
Explain to me
That's
how
why
a
they're
club like
last.
Western Sydney.
Wanderers are Rob.
Yeah, and they're actually last. There's actually quite a few points that we need to talk about on the A-League, but
Yeah, click that one.
Just
while he's trying to find that, I was actually thinking about this last week, man.
Basically,
because
they're all Aussie.
They're all Aussie.
the league
Cruyff.
and the table was in a certain way once we sort of had our break for Christmas and New Year and stuff.
Yeah, they're all Aussie.
And then over the last 3 or 4 weeks, everything has changed.
But that's the A-League.
And I'm like, going back to your point of a player doing well for 2 weeks, who really cares? It's almost like that all the time with the A-League. It's like someone does well for 3 weeks, and you're like, this team's the best in the league, and then the next 6 games they'll lose.
Do you know why? I've got a feeling a part of it is you lose 1 or 2 players in some of these teams, and your whole team changes.
Yeah,
Like
but
the
like
depth-
Valupale coming in for Victory.
Change. Sydney on the downward, Lolly gone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like these small.
Which again go back to your point of having a bit more depth, a bit more
depth is like
quality.
For me, the way I see things, your 5 foreigners should be the most important players. And if you tell me that if you have the luxury to go and sign 5 foreigners, they should be your 5 best players. And with all due respect to Aussie boys, we are not in a generation when we had Aloisi and Kewell and Cahill and everything.
If you're going to spend money on foreigners, they better be the best.
So they better be the best, unless you're going to bring someone back from. But the best, I would say, Aussie one today are playing overseas. Yeah. So you should have your marquees and everything should be foreigners. So you can't tell me you can't have 5 foreigners on the highest paid. There should be the 5 one. Then you should have a couple of experienced Aussie ones, like we had. When we had Carl Valeri, for example, as an example, like you had players like them, like very good players who played also overseas, who coming back, in the country for their life, the family, everything. Then you should have those best young players, like you have, for example, let's take Yaya Dukuli, Bernardo Oliveira, all those young players who you can sell, you can make money probably on them. Then you have some squad players. You can have some NPL players at 25, 26 years old who are the best players. They can come on, can have an impact. The kid who scored with Sudan against, maybe he can be in an A-League squad. It's not going to cost you a lot of money, but you might have that. And then you have some young players. But you don't give a chance every time to have 7. I look at some benches, some squad. Like we were at the game to us, and you look and said, you're bringing on some players,
16-year-olds.
like they don't have the level. And what pisses me off is like you're hurting the league. You're not helping the league to get better. In MLS, because that's probably the closest league in terms of the ways they do things, no relegation, promotion, salary cap. They have a requirement. Clubs have requirements, and you can't do whatever you want. So if the clubs, they can't do that, they shouldn't. They're not going to be in the league, but everyone works together. In this league, everyone does his own thing. You have some clubs, they're useless. Like seriously, like with all juries. I understand as an owner, it's a lot of money, but when you decide to come into our football and our game, if you can't spend it, just sell your club or give it to someone else.
So
or don't be involved.
That was brilliant, Fahid, what you just said in terms of that's the ideal setup for an A-League club, or should be. The 5 best players, foreigners, then you have your experienced Aussies, your best young Aussies, and then squad players. That's an ideal scenario. But I have to ask, probably more so you two, why aren't they doing it then?
Well, so
Because everyone talks about... Sorry to cut you off, Jake.
No,
everyone talks about, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough money, we don't have enough money. Fahid's saying get more creative. But, like, I don't understand why... And again, this is my fucking pea brain, but why isn't every club doing that then?
You have clubs doing it.
Yeah, some are. Some
but
are.
because they have the right people.
yeah, I
It's
think,
also
So
about,
it's all down to management from what you
well, it has to be if you've got all the same tools.
you need.
You're
But then
playing in a
I hear
salary
shit
cap.
like Central Coast are fucking asking local businesses for money.
Yeah, what I would say is there's also
No, that happened, bro.
I think there's a delayed consequence thing that happens here, which is, for example, like a Central Coast situation, which is it's not particularly what they've decided to do this year. It's what they've done
For the past 10.
for the past 5-6 years
yeah.
that's led them to the point where they don't have the best sponsors, they don't have crowd
Right,
numbers, they
right.
don't have all this stuff. So then now it's hard to spend the cap.
Yeah, true.
And you've
And
got
it's
to
a
think
compounding
if
thing.
you're an owner, right? And Bruce kind of touched on this a little bit. Like for instance, Central Coast owner, I forget his name. Fahid was very much aware of this situation more than anyone. But they won like 2 titles in the space of 3 years, like invincible seasons. Won like doubles and trebles. Do you know how much money they made for it?
Fuck all.
None.
Yeah.
So the owner after that's like, we're sinking cash. We've hit the heights of the domestic competition, and there's no prize money.
Means fuck all if you win the
So
A.
like, and plus you add in the TV rights that, not great because no one's going. So from an owner standpoint, like Bruce brought up this caliber of owner, you've got to really love the game or like have stupid money to throw into it because there's minimal kind of reward stemming out of it, even for some of these bigger clubs. Like
But that can't be completely true. It can't be completely true.
What's true,
that a club does really well. I know they don't earn prize money, but like a club does really well, doing everything perfectly right, and they're still just continuously losing money.
Well,
I reckon
the 2 really most sustainable clubs in the league right now is Auckland and Sydney.
Can I ask?
And that's a big part of their
why?
owners being...
Why?
The prime, bro, is like a lot of clubs have a short-term,
Short-term success.
No, it's not about that. It's like they don't think long-term.
Yeah.
When you talk about an academy, like take Central Coast. For 2 years, you can sell players, everything. As soon as you don't, you should invest your money. You should have an academy where you have proper coaches. They're going to develop the players. When you bring players, whatever, they can stay there. You develop them with proper coaches, everything. Every year, you've got players coming on. Every year. So you sell the players, you reinvest the money, for example, in the academy, in the best young players. If you have to give scholarship contract, bring better coaches, facilities. And it's a circle. The money goes, like you transfer players, you invest again. You bring better foreigners. For example, if you sell for 3 million, don't put the 3 million in your pocket or whatever. Invest one. Now, when I'm saying that, owners, everything. Put 1 million, for example, within the academy. Bring better coaches, bring physios and everything. Invest that. Then add 1 million, for example, in your marquees and everything. So you will have better success. It brings better crowds. Some clubs, Central Coast, when they're successful, people say, "Oh yeah, but they won the league. It was full." Then the following game is like 8,000 people because fucking the next game is 6 months later. Because the league, when they're going to start thinking about between the last game and the first game of the season, we need to stop that long period because people, they love the football, they come, and then you don't have a game for 6 months. Then they go to watch AFL, they go to watch rugby, and they don't come back. So it's a whole thing.
On that, sorry to cut you off, Ed. On that, you guys were talking about squad depth and stuff. Do you even need squad depth in Australia?
Bro, let me tell you something that's going on right now. So this is slightly a little bit skewed from what you're saying, but why Adelaide, respectfully to the young players that played, probably weren't up to standard, right? In the game yesterday against Central Coast.
Central Coast.
They were 3-0 down after 23 minutes at home. Why they're in that position, Adelaide, is because they banked on the young strategy, which Bruce has said, which they've somewhat got right because they're selling a lot of players, they're making money, and their players that they play, although their away form's been bad, they can be quite good. Yep. Like you go through Alagic, Dakuli, Jovanovic, who's a great goal scorer, Kikianis. Right. But they're all in that age bracket to go for the young national team. So now they're without him for a month.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
which is their whole spine.
That's crazy.
Kikianis has stayed because I think he's injured. But Alagic, Jovanovic, which
Jerome, to answer your question, you need depth, bro.
I know you need depth. I know you need depth, but it's like
your two centre backs.
I'd say 15 players. You
okay, but that is not depth to me.
Okay, you don't need like European depth, but like you need 15.
Pause.
You need 15 starters.
Yeah, that's fine. But that's what I'm saying. Compared to the rest of the world,
because we play 30 games.
Like
right?
which A-League team has 3 centre forwards?
I can tell you, Western Sydney. Look.
Yeah, they do. Barello, Qual, and Barbarouses.
Nah, but what I'm saying is like, you need to think long term about the league. You need to have better clubs coming in. Like if you bring a club, you can't just have Western United coming. Like everyone saw it coming, and it's a bad look. Now you've got, for example, Central Coast. There's no one knows what's happening there, for example. So you got to be careful at the clubs. The clubs within the league today, they need to get better. Like for 100% sure. And you do have clubs, seriously, as I said, Victory, Auckland, Sydney FC, they're trying. Then there's a locomotive, to be honest. Like, if they do well, it will help. But if you don't do well, at one point also as an owner and everything, when you look at your team and if you're struggling, people won't come back. So if you're supposed to have 10,000 fans, for example, and your team starts losing, and because there's no relegation and promotion, people say, oh yeah, it's fine, we'll see next year. You know the difference for, let's say, Western Sydney, I think Western Sydney played MacArthur. Last year, I think it was like 14,000 people at the game. This year was like 8,000 something. Do you know how much it is? Bro, 5,000. It's more than 100 grand per game. You lose, like, it's a massive difference.
Tickets, food, merch, all that
So
shit.
it's a lot of money you're losing just because of one game. So if your team is not successful, people will stop coming. And at one point, they'll get sick of it. So everyone, especially people in football here, they must try to fix it. They must. And I know some people at the league are trying to come up with idea, whatever. The first, man, it's a club. And people at the clubs, they need to be accountable from coaches, sporting director, about the work they do, the players they sign, foreigners they sign. At one point, when I hear some people seriously in this league, and with all due respect, and I'm not an arrogant person, but when you talk to some people and trying to explain to you, nah, this one is not good enough. Well, this one is playing in France. He's fucking 32 years old and he's played in Ligue 1 last year. So maybe because he didn't play every game in Ligue 1, but compare the level in Ligue 1 and A-League, and you're telling me he's not good enough here or because he's 32, 33? Man, stop it. At one point, it's about also knowledge. And there's a lot of fraud in our country. There's a lot of people in A-League, sometimes not a lot, but there's few of them who have no idea, but they've got a job. And they're part of a club and they make decisions. And few teams, when I look at seriously some of the big clubs, everything really struggling, like it's not normal. It's not normal. And trying to find excuses. Every club should have a structure with ownership. You have the CEO who runs the club. You should have a football director or sporting director who is. You should have a strategy at the club. You should be as a football director or the sport director. You should have a philosophy at the club, the way you want to play everything. Then you appoint a coach that is going to suit that philosophy. For me, that's the way I see things, because you sign players that are going to suit your philosophy and not the players that are just going to suit the coach. Because when the coach is gone, you have all those players and someone else is coming. Oh, but I don't want to do that. I want to play long. I don't want to play short because I want to go direct. So I need a tall striker. So you need to rotate. If you have something, a proper strategy, a whole philosophy, let's say, we want to play an attacking football. We want to counter or whatever, transition game, everything. So you sign the players that's going to suit that philosophy. And every year, because sometimes coaches can't be successful, that happens, and it's all around the world, they're going to get sacked. because that's football. So when you're going to bring another coach, it's going to be someone that's going to suit that. And he's going to work with the player. So you don't need to change 90% of your squad every year. The problem is like when you have one guy making every decision at your club and he's not successful, then it's trouble. And then your club is never going to be good.
Can I ask you everyone's thoughts on, because every year, I mean, look, for the most part, the teams that are always going to be relatively successful are your Sydneys, your Victories, Aucklands at this point, etc. But every year, I feel like we're going to have the same conversation with the bottom teams.
That's not the ladder.
No, that's not the ladder. I know that's not the ladder.
I'm getting more confused about the market value.
Put the ladder,
Wellington,
Yeah, can you
Wellington
put the
Phoenix
ladder
is
up?
the second
Wait,
highest.
just quickly, whilst you make this point, Jerome, whilst you make this point, what I forgot to mention about when I was talking about the Adelaide players going away with the young Socceroos, remember how I told you when Cozzy tried to keep me once?
Yeah.
And it was like blew up, like he'll never play for Australia again.
Yeah.
Max Caputo, Melbourne City forced him to stay. Panthers forced to stay. Jing Reese and Grimaldi were apparently called up, forced to stay by Victory. Yet Adelaide send their 3 starting 11 players, and now they're getting fucked.
Because Adelaide wants to. That's the idea.
It's
That's
just interesting, though, isn't it? Now
It is very
now you can have
interesting.
an option, but
Yeah.
Adelaide's kind of taken
That route.
really important players. Their main goal scorer.
Because what you're saying is because then that's an opportunity for them to be in the
Adelaide
shop front
is-
window to
Yeah,
sell them
because-
later.
So they're not
But it's
thinking about winning the league.
No, but bro, it's not just about that. For me, it's also respecting the national team.
which is
Which
fine.
is fine.
I don't disagree. I'm not
But
disagreeing.
it's because I think
But if
when
other
we saw
teams,
the
are-
under 20s winning the Asian Cup, I think it's great. I think it's something really good. I think the under 23s, if you take everyone, you can win it. But obviously, a lot of players are staying in Europe. They don't want to release them because like
can
it's
you
not
look
a
at the
FIFA.
tournament now for
it's
that?
not a
Australian
FIFA
under-20s,
date.
please?
So it's a tricky situation.
23.
It's for no points,
But you must.
and they're away for a month.
But they should have planned. A lot of clubs should have planned that.
I-
Like
and-
when you sign at the beginning of the season, when you look at the schedule, how many international games are we gonna have, and this and that, and
No, not
for example,
championship,
windows
just
where
not
they're gonna
Asian
go
Cup,
away.
just under 23 tournament in January.
You need to.
But
you need
but
to
Fahid,
think
Asia.
is that the club going? Do you think is that the club going?
In January,
Well, whether
I
we
put-
win the league or
that's
not,
for
it doesn't
June,
really
July.
matter.
it does because you go
That's-
to Europe, you make money. Europe, sorry, you go to Asia.
Mm.
But if you win the league and you qualify for Asia, you have money there.
Go check it, Jake.
And it's also like
You're
bro,
right. This isn't for it isn't for qualification. It's the
Let's say,
Asian
bro,
Cup.
you win the league.
Thailand.
Okay, we played for this club, and in my opinion, Victory and Sydney FC are the biggest club in the country,
So I
and
don't
not even close.
understand how.
Victory, when you win, you've got more than 25,000 people coming to the game. That's a lot of money. Just as a fans, like sponsorship and everything, pay more money. So you must be successful. Sydney FC, it's the same thing. Those clubs cannot afford to finish 6th, 8th because you don't have people coming to the game. The sponsorship, obviously, when you're gonna ask someone to pay 1 million for the jersey, and now why we're gonna pay $500,000, it has an impact. People just think, oh yeah, but if we win this, we don't make money. It's bullshit.
Can I ask you guys?
But
don't
it
make
is
money.
crazy. You talk about respecting the national team jersey, right? So my mistake on this, but this is a fucking important tournament. So why is it now that A-League clubs can hold players for tournaments that we should be trying to go and win? Because now then there's an imbalance of like we don't have the best players in the national team, and then a team like Adelaide who says yes, go. Now they're hurt in the league.
But that's their look. I think it's normal, kind of like to send your players. But let's say, Sydney FC, for example, Walati, he's one of them. Loli got injured. You're not gonna send him. Like personally, I wouldn't. Like he's staying because I'm thinking about my team, so it's normal.
But see, now they're taking respectfully Marcus Humbert. I know he's a good player, but he actually plays for Heidelberg.
No, that's not
What?
normal.
Do,
Look, man,
well,
that's not
do
normal.
you think it should be a group, not a group, but like everyone should be on the same page? That the whole league is like, all right, for this tournament,
That'll
this
never
tournament,
happen.
the best players
Nah,
go.
but they should have an
and-
agreement, and I think that's what they had for the under 20s for the Asian
But won't
Cup.
people find loopholes?
No. I think that's what happened also for the Asian Cup, where every club agreed before the season started. We
Okay.
will send every player
Who
Right.
gets
at the
asked?
end, yeah, because they actually really wanted to go and win it.
Okay.
That's one. In the middle of the season, I think it's also the FIFA as a dumb thing from FIFA, where they just
Oh, they're always
like it's
happening.
a shit date.
It's like AFCON.
And seriously, you have
How
to
good's
look
that?
at it.
We've got the
Now,
there's a guy from Man United.
I'll
that
be
can
honest,
go, but
bro.
Not from
I'll be very honest. Who's watching that under 23s Asian Cup?
I'm going to be real.
No.
I'm
And
not
I'll tell you
watching.
straight away, bro. I speak with clubs, everything. They don't even know it's on. Clubs don't have no idea. Scouts, everything. They don't even know.
We're not even
Really?
we're not even allowing our best players
That
to go.
can't
bro.
be right.
I swear to God, bro.
But
I
Fahid-
speak with clubs, man. I'm telling you, like in Europe, everything. They don't even know. They're not interested.
Fahid, we're in a league
That's
with
why,
we're in a league
bro.
with no relegation,
Hey, hold on,
and
hold
we're
on.
not sending our best players.
Hold on. Hold on.
Do you know what I mean? It doesn't
we-
fucking make sense to me. Like
someone
how
said this to
how
us. Adam
how can-
Peacock.
How can people, Rashid? How can people not let our best players go to a tournament that we should be trying to win? I get if it's not for points. Then I'm 100%.
Yeah.
I think club. But if it's the Asian Cup, why you can't get relegated in the A League, bro? We can win this.
No, for
I
sure they
agree
should
with
be
you.
going. But
Look,
then
I agree with you, but it's an agreement they should have had at the beginning, like all together. Because when you sign, let's say when you sign 5 for 6 foreign,
Our producer just wrote Heidelberg is bigger than Man U.
At the moment, yeah.
No hate to Heidelberg, by the way. I'm just
but you
just
should
making a
not.
point.
Look, man, you know what? I'm sorry, and I know NPL clubs are gonna be frustrated. You shouldn't have an amateur player playing those competitions when you have so many professional players. If you're not in, and look, in A League, you shouldn't miss. It happens, unfortunately, but you shouldn't miss like an 18, 19 years old playing in NPL. He shouldn't. If
yeah,
he's
it's
that
one or the
good,
other, right? He should
shouldn't
either have
shouldn't-
not been
either
missed, he's really good.
He's not good enough,
or-
or he's good enough to be in an A League team.
So, but
And-
yeah, he got released from
No,
City.
So
It was the conundrum. In Humbert's case, and I'll give him some respect, he was captaining their youth team, was a very good player. But City, as soon as you hit 17 and 18 and you're not in the first team,
You're gone.
You're gone.
Yeah.
And he left at a time when no one could pick him up and the Oz Championship started.
And,
So,
and a lot of
okay.
clubs now,
Respectfully.
and a lot of clubs now actually refuse to sign players from other states because they will say, "Oh, we have our own academy, and we would rather wait," which is not a bad thing, but sometimes players are better.
Can I ask
elsewhere.
Can I ask all you boys last thing on this after because we're gonna move on.
good work, Gerard. This is hey, when you come on for hit, it's his hardest pod to handle because we can talk underwater.
We could
about
go for
anything.
5 hours, right? But last point on this, right?
The fuck is that?
Do you?
That's where
Well,
one of the
put
boys
that
are
out.
at.
I swear,
the
I could
ladder-
just look at
right.
that
Put
corner
the
of
ladder
the
back.
shit,
The
man.
table back.
Yeah, that's Serie chair.
Yeah, put the
table, A-League
put the
table
A-League
back.
ladder, actually.
There we
Yeah,
go.
go
Right.
Drogs.
Is there like what Fahid's saying has opened my eyes, like in terms of how a club should be really the ideal world, but because
Well,
it's-
basically, he's just ruined the whole philosophy of what everyone said for the last 2 years.
yeah, that's fine.
But
I
he
want to
can
ask.
see he's having the discussions
I
though,
want
isn't
to,
he?
yeah. If there's
Right.
one guy that can say it, it's Fahid. But I want to ask you guys, if we're being real, there is never ever going to be a time, maybe not in my lifetime, where all A-League clubs are going to either follow that thing or try to,
Okay.
because there's no relegation.
Okay, look.
Does
Take-
it make sense what I'm saying?
Wait,
Take
sorry.
the vi-
I was looking at the ladder. My apologies.
Like, sorry, Fahid. I agree with what Fahid's saying. I reckon that's probably the
You
best.
mean the blueprint?
The
that he's-
blueprint, right?
Okay.
They're either not going to follow it because they can't. Or-
why can't you?
I don't know. Every fucking week I hear shit about
No,
these clubs are about
no,
to
no,
go
no.
underwater.
They can. It's just because they don't want to, and they have things. And
That's what I mean. They don't want to.
They don't. Some of them don't have the brain to do it. And some of look, bro. You look at
Caliber of
you look at
ownership,
the
Bruce
look at
Gitay.
the A League. Some of the clubs, they've spent money. They sign foreigners. They sign players coming back from the. Some of them are not good enough, and so it's also about your recruitment. I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to work in football. And I was a player. You have a good season, bad season. We're not like Ronaldo, Messi, Mbappe. We go through struggles. Sometimes it's tough. Sometimes it's bad. It doesn't mean someone comes to A-League has to be successful. There's no guarantee. But when you try to get it right, when you try to sign the right players, he's gonna help you. And it's about also going there, having connection, network, working, watching games every time, and not just going to a cafe and enjoy your life, everything. So when you work in football, it's 24/7. When I call people, seriously, when it's transfer window, I don't sleep a lot.
Yeah, 3 a.m.
But when you call people here in A-League, not all of them, some of them are great, but some of them, man, by 9 p.m., phone is off.
Phone is off, yeah.
And what the fuck is wrong, man? Like you're
But that's a
supposed to-
reflection of the league,
but
isn't it?
the problem is like you're supposed to go watch games. If for example, if you work on the club, you personally, I mean, I live in Melbourne. I'm not. When you're a victory, you have a certain player, certain standard. CD is the same thing, like So I'm not telling you have to be out there watching NPL games because it's bullshit. Because those players probably don't have the level, but you might have one or two can be good. Now foreigners. 100% sure. You have so many players that want to come to the league, and if one club says no, it's bullshit. It's a lie. There's so many foreigners and good foreigners who want to come to the league for different experiences. And that is seriously where, look, Auckland, why Auckland? They got it right. They got it right since last year. They've been doing well. They have a proper project. Sydney FC, the same things. They've signed good foreigners. You look at the foreigners. They've signed a Spanish guy who has a decent career. Marcel Tisserand, who's played at the top level, and he's coming as a centre back. He's been one of the best centre back. You've got Loli, who is definitely, arguably, one of the best 3-4 players in the league. So you've got that. You've got Paul Ocon, who came back. They brought back Alassane Touré, who's doing really well. They brought what's his name? Yuli is a midfielder. So,
but they got
and they've got the Aussie players like Grant. What's his name?
Both Grants.
Garucho. Yeah, both Grants. Garucho. They've got that model. You take Victory. You have one world-class player, Juan, who is a top foreigner. You've got Miranda, who is a good foreigner. You've got the prop, like let's say, the good young players. Jean Rose, they brought him back, very good Aussie one. So you've got Velu Pile, who's a talented one. You've got that squad. You've got centre backs, like young players, everything. You take MacArthur, Caceres, Damian da Silva. They've got Bratton, for example, as experience. They're bringing back Duke. They've got Oliveira. They've got what's his name?
So what you're saying with the ideal model,
you do have that, and then you look at some clubs.
Yeah.
You look at some clubs and you say, okay, they just have young players. Like it's not working. Like you take Newcastle and Millsy, to be honest, is doing a decent job. Offensively, like you have Taylor. Eli Adams, Bodaleto, whatever his name is, the kid.
Shout out Badalato, just did his ACL too.
Yeah, so you have some talents, offensively, everything. Now it's like maybe you go out there and sign defenders, proper like 6 or whatever.
Do you know Fahid's point on Newcastle? So they've scored the most in the league, 23.
Yeah.
They've conceded the most in the league.
So
23.
it's about finding the right balance. And look, Millsy is doing things. You take some clubs like, okay, well, people are gonna say Western Sydney. Well, you can be last. Look at the recruitment, and with all, it's not about the players. At one point, it's like, you haven't signed any foreigners. You're gonna tell me on that kind of money you're paying some players, you couldn't go and sign foreigners? Yes, you killed. And
plug the Patreon.
It's actually seriously where it pisses me.
Oh, by the way, guys, sorry, Rash, this is very important.
Because we're just warming to that topic just then.
If you want to hear about Juan Mata and Western Sydney Wanderers, Fahid's going to say...
And the Daily Telegraph.
And the Daily Telegraph.
Alan Stajic and Fahid Ben Khalfallah.
Make sure you tune into our Patreon. I'm sorry, Rashid.
Sorry, man.
I was just going to say, Western Sydney Wanderers is a good example of a club that does have money. So going to your thing of like, it's a decision because.
So let's take Western Sydney and to make it very clear, Scott Hudson, the CEO, very good friend. I really, really like him. Paul Lederer is one of my favorite person to witness in the league.
Me too.
And unbelievable person who puts his money within the club, everything. So, what is the structure of Western Sydney?
You're looking at the wrong person.
You're talking about what the playing group, or you mean the whole business?
The whole business today, Western Sydney, a club with resources, unbelievable stadium, good
the best
facilities.
Training facilities maybe in the league.
No, definitely, man. Go to Melbourne City, bro.
Yeah, I've been to Melbourne City. I've been to both.
Bro, Melbourne City is so much better.
Have
you been to Wellington?
I think they're even. If not, I like Western Sydney.
No,
better.
I don't think they like us.
To where?
No, they don't like you.
No, they don't like us. But are they good? Really?
All Blacks, man.
Okay. Can I ask you guys though, right? Because correct me if I'm wrong, A-League expert.
Yeah, man.
Brisbane are a very young side, no?
No.
Okay, but what foreigners do they have?
O'Shea, Ability.
No,
their fullback.
Ability is here, bro. Or they've got
Vidic. Is that?
They've got the fullback. The fullback. What's his name? The right back.
Okay, my point is
Long, the striker.
Yeah, but my point is, do they have like the model that Fahid's talking about of like?
Yeah.
Now hold on.
Kind of.
But hold on.
But not like they don't have a soccer
bro. So
you know what I mean? They've got
Brisbane the last 4, 5 years, 6 years, whatever, where they are. Where are
at the bottom.
So you're talking about 10 games?
No. I'm not trying to disagree with you.
No. What I'm saying,
I'm just saying, do you think they'll hold on in that spot because they're third now?
I don't think they would.
Okay, that's all I wanted to ask.
I don't think they won't. And second, we talk about that's where sometimes people understand we talk short term. It's not short term. It's long term.
Yeah.
What they've been doing for years, like what kind of players have they signed, foreigners and everything, and look at that, and then you tell me Where are they?
Yeah,
So
they've been bad.
that's that. And they can complain about no money. No, they're still spending a bit of money. So now Valkanis is coming and he's doing a good job, to be honest. And one thing I'm going to tell you, last week he had an interview when he was talking about the way of playing football. There's a different way.
I like
you,
that.
You like that, didn't you,
100% agree,
Fahid?
bro. Because you know what? Everyone here has tried to play the same football, robotics, everything. And I agree with him. And you can go direct. There's no way like you can go long, everything. It's about winning is a mentality. So he's got that culture there, which I like. The rest, everything, the whinging and complaining and blah, blah. And at one point, it's fighting like it doesn't work. And on the long term, we'll see. Hopefully, I might be wrong, but at the end of season, we'll see the ladder or something.
Well, I think to answer your question, Jerome, they have signed 5 visas, Brisbane, but they're playing with the 5 visas. They're playing like practically kids.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Majority,
And
like
are
you go
these-
through, like Harrington's gone, but it's Harrington, Valkanis, Klein's young but good. Then they've got a few of the, respectfully, a couple of players that are on their second and third opportunities in the A-League.
But are their best players the foreigners?
They don't, in my opinion, they don't really have a standout. Samuel Klein's probably
That's
doing
what I'm
the
maybe.
most.
That's what I'm maybe trying to.
So their
Because they
thing,
don't have one, but you're judging on 10 games.
No, Fahid, I'm saying that I'm agreeing with you. You're saying before that the 5 foreigners should be your best players,
If
right?
you want to win the league,
Yeah.
your 5
That's my
foreigners-
point. They're
if
5
you take-
foreigners.
If you take Sydney
I mean,
FC,
O'Shea's their best
that-
player.
what?
But he's also Aussie,
Said-
sort of.
Who won last year?
technically
City.
now. Yeah.
Oh no, okay. City won the grand final. Let's talk about the proper league because you can win the grand final, be in the final, everything. For me, I judge on the
Yeah.
27 games.
Normal.
That's where Auckland. You look at Sakai last year. They're foreigners, everything. We're the best players. They have got some good players like Bremer, everything, like Aussie boys and all that
Yeah.
stuff. You look at Sydney FC. The best players are the foreigners, and then they have some decent. The years they won it with Ninkovic and everything. Central Coast when they won it, they had up front. What's his name? Cummings, the striker.
Cummings,
Kaltak, best centre back.
Best centre back
So
ever.
they had.
No, we love Caltech up here.
No,
He
the
is
one
good
saying like,
Kaltak.
they had also the French boy as a winger who was doing really well. So you have those imports like helping you. I'm not telling you at one point. It makes a big difference.
Yeah,
if you
I
take
agree.
MacArthur today, who's the best? For me,
Yeah.
MacArthur, the best players. Like you have like experienced players or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if you take Victory, best player for me today is Juan. Like it's just like that's how it should be. Not telling it's the case. It should be that.
Before we move off A-League. Oh.
Yeah, but I've got one more thing
Okay.
to say on here.
Mhm.
Some interesting statistics for the A-League,
Mhm.
right? I saw this on LinkedIn.
Lord Stats Corner.
Lord
Yeah.
Stats Corner.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Yeah,
been a while. Go on, Lord.
let it
Chris-
go, bro.
Chris Schmizzy, head of strategy at the A-Leagues, posted on LinkedIn, said, fantastic results coming through from our broadcast partner, Network 10, highlighting the successes of the 2024-2025 A-League season and a very strong start to this season, particularly on streaming platforms. Numbers, 2024 to 2025 season reached 5.1 million total national viewers. That's unique viewers. So obviously like anyone tuning in throughout that whole year in Australia. 2024 to 2025 season, Isuzu Ute A-League men's biggest ever men's A-League audience on 10 and Paramount. Not sure if that's interesting or not. And 2025 to 2026 season, Isuzu Ute A-League men's biggest ever streaming audiences, up 31% on 10 and up 48% on Paramount. And last one, 2025-2026 season, Ninja A-League women's biggest ever streaming audiences, up 16% on 10 and up 72% on Paramount. Anything to see there? Do you think it's
Wait,
sort
so
of...
just to clarify that, because so everything's gone up this year.
Yes.
Is
Probably
that,
Oz Championship plays into that. There's
well, I think
Can
also.
I say something stupid?
Well, no one's going to the stadium though.
Maybe
Yeah.
because Juan is playing.
okay,
Wow.
great segue. Thank you very much.
No. Hold on, because no one goes to the stadium. And
Yeah.
yes, we went to City.
Bro, it was
bro.
Melbourne
Having
Melbourne
4,000
City
people.
versus Sydney.
Maybe
I know,
I'm
why do you
gonna
think I
ask
don't
clubs,
go?
man. Maybe you know what? If you can't fill a stadium or you can't like Victory should be the only club playing at the Amy Park.
Yeah, we've said fucking said
And you
this
know
1,000
what?
times.
City, they've been successful the last couple of years. Everything they should find a stadium there because it's not a good look when you play in front of 4,000 people. And I was at against MacArthur. It's seriously. It's bad. It's rubbish.
Yeah, they need to
It makes us
adjust. They
look
need to
really
adjust.
bad.
Brisbane got smoked on the weekend,
But at least they played in the stadium. You know what? Have it sold out 6,000,
But it looked
7,000.
nice.
And then after the women's played in front of a sellout crowd.
yeah,
And
it
you
looked
know,
good.
you know what else with that is that if the stadium's smaller, then obviously there's more demand of people actually getting there.
Yes.
Then that means more people have to watch at home as well.
Yes.
So then more people, and you get better broadcasting deals.
Bro, all around, it is a better thing, and we're not going to harp on this. What I want to speak about, I need to move on.
Go on, lad.
What I want to speak about is Fahid, last point on the A-League. How you feeling about Juan recently? He's running every game. Like, are you here to tell everyone I told you so? Like, what's the feeling?
Oh shit! This is a vendetta play. But now I know why he wanted to come on. This is I
Because-
told you so, huh?
He's running the games. He's what the last 3 or 4 you would say he's been probably the best player.
He's four
But is this
assists, four
Patreon
assists and a
chat?
goal in the last 5.
No. Don't mention
What do you-
Wanderers.
Oh, right.
I just want to say how you're feeling
Right.
about his time at Victory so
no,
far.
Four assists and
I'm
1
s-
goal in his last 5
I'm
games.
so happy for him.
Yeah.
And I was telling him last week or whatever. Juan doesn't have nothing to prove to anyone.
Mhm.
He's done everything.
Yeah.
And we should just enjoy and be happy to have him within the league. That's the way it is. And he's playing at a level that is enjoyable. It's to watch. Like when I said last time to my wife, I was like, the simple things, like, when the ball goes really high, he takes a touch, stays in his feet. He plays 1 touch, 2 touch, he moves. The players now, they look for him, because they know the ball is going to come back to them. He's never going to take. It's just like, but making things simple is actually hard. But the way
Yes,
he plays,
footballers do
he always runs. And that's why the dumb people who thinks he couldn't run, he always runs. But for me, he's the best player in the league today. Right now, he is the best player, most enjoyable player to watch. I'm so happy for him, to be honest, because he's got a big smile. He's happy in Melbourne, everything. I'm very happy for Victory. Look, it's obviously my club, so I'm so happy for the people also who wanted him, for Arthur Dillis, who really pushed to sign him. To see that the fans are so happy to have him around, and even just like everything he does, like off the field, like for the club, like taking times.
I'm going to say something here, right? And I'm sorry, but we may need to cut it out. But you can ask him if this is okay. So my partner works at a hotel where he ended up staying when he first came to Melbourne, right? The other day, she got a message in the group chat of the hotel, of the people in the hotels, all photos of Juan had gone out of his way to drop off 10 signed T-shirts and take photos with all the people at the hotel there.
man.
And she was like, I have worked at this place for like a long time. Nobody does that. Big celebrities come, heaps of people go. Nobody does that.
Damn, bro.
Just to
he's
show you the kind of
off
guy he
the
is.
field, like, to be honest, he
Dude,
deserves
he's the
it.
nicest guy ever, bro.
Nah,
We
he's
hung out with him, bro.
unbelievable.
He's so
like
cool.
he's so
Chelsea
nice.
legend, what do you
But
expect?
that's why, to be
Man,
honest,
you
like,
legend.
look, you met him, Jake, everything, and that's why. And I'm happy, especially for a club like Victory. They need that. They need to have stars and people. But when I mean stars, is not ego, proper stars. How to act as a professional players, being an example and being a top player. That's why. That's how he is and what it is.
How have the other boys? How have the? I'm sure you've heard and had conversations. How have the players liked playing with him?
Bro, they
Bro,
love
so
him.
you wouldn't like.
I mean,
that?
Bro, that-
I mean,
fuck
I
it.
wish, I wish to be
Bro,
honest,
the
I was
players
playing with
like
him.
him.
I wish, I was playing as a winger with him, and because you make a run, he finds you. You play with him, the ball comes back, and the guy never like. I used to yell on the pitch. Now, when sometimes you have players. Me, I was one of he doesn't. He's always positive. Like he's very calm.
You can see he's like
It's
that.
crazy.
The way
Bro,
you can
he,
see the little.
he hangs out with people, like he hangs out with everyone in the team. First time I met him, it was 2 players that weren't even getting in the squad. He was like hanging out with, going to dinner with. So like his level of, he's not here.
He doesn't, and
That's
I'm
just-
so
which is- I
happy
thought was
because, to
pretty
be honest,
cool.
like,
Oh, you were there.
especially with what happened last year, I
Stop talking to you.
think that was a disgrace, and I'm so happy for him. It's just even for the league, like today, we do need those players. We need, and people thinking now we don't. They don't know nothing about football, and stop being in football if you don't think we need those marquees. If you think the A-League doesn't need marquee players,
Yeah.
then you know what? Stop getting involved.
Bro, I
Don't
agree.
fucking be in football, and man,
I
don't
agree.
waste my time. we need that in the A-League to attract people, to have more people in stadium. And especially, it's not just that. First of all, also for the TV right, when you go and you renegotiate, it's better to have people like Juan to sell, but also for young players. Like when you want to, like we talk about developing young players, there's nothing better than being around someone like him.
Juan,
That's where, like, and for coaches, look, man, Arthur, I told him, I thanked him personally because what he's doing with him, the respect he's showing him, the relationships they have is great. And everything Arthur said to sign him, and to be honest, then I don't want to go because it's private, everything's a discussion. Everything he said, he's exactly doing it. And the communication with Juan I think it's just about respect. And when you have someone like him, if you're not dumb, you respect him and you talk to him and you use him and you communicate with him. And the players, like everyone loves him at the club. And to be honest, I receive text messages from people every time. Oh yeah, thanks, man. Like, thank. I was like, don't thank me, man. Like, and to be honest, thank you to the people who actually made it happen as well. And look, Victory is my club, man. When I go there, like I every time I watch games, when I watch games, it's like I don't care. I'm not a fan or whatever. I actually just go to watch my players. Yeah. And I always say, if the players I work with and they do well, man, it makes me happy. I said if they can score 3 goals, but when Victory plays and Juan plays, like for me, it's different because I played for the club. We won things, and I want to see the club successful. And I love the people at the club. So it's seeing him there, it makes me very happy. Yes.
Right. Before we get on to the new topic I want to bring up, I just want to give a special shout out to our wonderful sponsors, Armadura. You see the different types of jerseys we're cooking up with. There will be one coming out soon.
Yeah. You can wear this out also. This is not just like day-to-day attire.
Bro, you are wearing that out.
Yeah,
Doc
he's wearing it with a belt.
Slacks with a belt and a football jersey.
Yep.
Especially from Armadura.
Have the same fashion.
I'm going to be on a Paris Fashion Week with you, bro. Like this.
Faris Passion.
Club
Faris
identity is everything, and Armadura, the king of creating.
You didn't give your opinion about Juan.
My opinion on Juan. I don't need to give an opinion on Juan. He's a fucking Chelsea legend.
He's a Man
Bro,
legend.
he could score 10 own goals. I wouldn't give a shit. Doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, true.
Like you said, like he's Juan Mata. Like he could come here and play shit. It's not going to fucking change who he is.
But the worst thing is certain players they can have a bad game or whatever. It's normal.
Yeah.
If you have a brain, they can't play shit. Like, just because they're too good.
Yeah.
It's just like...
You don't lose it.
They're different players. Like, when you play at a certain level, you're not you don't reach the level Juan's played at. Played for Man United, Chelsea, won the World Cup and everything, and Champions League. And everyone acknowledges you're one of the best players. Like, I saw...
Well, not everyone.
I saw Bruno
Talk
Fernandes.
about in the Patreon.
I saw Bruno Fernandes saying he's one of the most technical players he's played with.
Yeah, Fernandes.
But everyone says the same thing.
Well,
and when you have someone like him, and it's just
the corner
beyond everything.
The corner wasn't a set piece.
Yeah.
You just saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
Bro, what a pass.
Bro, everyone in the comments is like, oh, that's training ground. No, it's fucking not.
Really?
Yeah.
That was not a set piece.
No, you just see Nish at the back. Just pinged it.
That's mad, bro.
All right, maybe
That's
we
madness,
should
man.
restart an ad.
We want to give a special shout out to Armadura, our wonderful sponsors. You see the jerseys, they're looking fly, they're looking clean.
When they come in, Jerome?
I can't tell you. You're going to have to keep it locked and loaded on Suited and Booted to find out. This is Brunswick's selection. They're gonna provide you everything you need for your upcoming season. Club identity is very important to them. You are not just going to get a template like everyone else does. Everything will be custom fit to your club, and the history and the colors and the fabric of the club will all be considered when they're creating this for your club. You are not going to rock up to games in shitty embroidered polos like you're playing in Metro 7. And even if you are playing in Metro 7, look like you're playing in the Premier League. You'll have everything on-field, off-field gear, everything custom. Nick is a gentleman. He will sort you out, whatever you need. The website is in the description.
Yeah, if you guys are thinking about it, just thinking about kids, just have a conversation. Because like we always say, we've tested the market. And this was by far the best gear that we found that we felt comfortable putting our brand to. And as Jerome said, and as Rashid is wearing, we are going to be bringing out our home and away jerseys, which are going to be brought to you by Armadura. And it's going to be our first suited and booted merch. Well, after the hoodie, really. Our first sort of playing jerseys. So
Let's go, baby. Armadura. Stop looking stupid. Get with Armadura. They'll have you fresh and fly for the new season. Let's go. Right. What are we at, Rob? 123? Cool. I want to bring up one more thing. Okay. I want to give a personal and brand shout out to Aamir Abdallah, who scored an incredible goal in the round of 16 at the AFCON against
can you pull it up, maybe?
Senegal, who had Mendy in goals. They had Mane on the pitch, Nicholas Jackson playing. Ishmael Sarr, Pat Matsar. Like, they're arguably one of the favourites to win the tournament. And to do what he did, to give them the lead in the round of 16 of AFCON as an NPL player, you've got to applaud it. And you know what? Also because he's an absolute fucking gentleman. He's one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
High quality person, bro.
I mean, it's
here it is.
One touch out of your feet.
He does this all the time too.
Yeah, it was an
bro. It's a bit Mahrez-esque.
Yeah. Definitely giving North African vibes there with that one. But I want to give a special shout out to him because he's been grafting away in the NPL for years. He's won all the awards, Golden Boots, Player of the Season, so on and so forth. Obviously, Senegal were just too good in the end. I mean, if you've got those type of players, like, it's going to be fucking damn near impossible. But I want to give a shout out to him. But there's been a lot of discourse. Shout out to our boy Taufik, especially. There's been a lot of discourse around why hasn't the A-League picked him up? Why hasn't the A-League picked him up? Now, here's what I want to say. We will try to get him on this show. Okay? Like,
we're in talks.
So
with his people and our people.
Yeah, his people and our people. Literally just Jake and him. But Jake's our people. Right. So I don't want to speak for him. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to speak for him because I know that he had trials at several A-League clubs and I don't know his story.
Several?
I believe it was more than one, I think.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, like, I'm not going to speak for him because that would be rude of me to do. But everyone is saying...
Can we go back
there?
There
You go.
Yeah, move on.
I was about to
move
tell
on.
you. You're the one who makes a mistake.
Yes, bro.
Well, Rash said if you shoot at the keeper's face, you score.
But it's...
this is...
You see here. Look here. That him?
Was that him?
Yes, bro.
Doesn't matter. He scored.
Move it on.
But isn't that funny? Everyone... Respectfully, I'm going to have you back to a lot of this.
Was offside anyway.
No, he's not.
Hey, you knew what he was doing.
That, bro.
He's not.
You knew that.
He's,
He's not?
10 years offside.
yeah, but still, bro.
He's born offside.
Anywho, I'm a striker, so I don't give a fuck how my team does. As long as I score, I'll leave smiling.
No, but you like on your what you're going to say, it's a goal. Right, well, everyone's seeing a goal, and I have not seen him play enough to be able to make a judgment. But
what I will say, and Jerome can probably attest to this the most because he's probably most in touch with the NPL. But everyone's using his goal and his contributions, goal and assist contributions in his last 40 games in the NPL as the narrative of why he should be in the A-League, which is kind of compelling because from an NPL standpoint, he's probably arguably had some of the most impact in the front third from any player. And you see some of the plays and it's like, yeah, he probably does deserve a chance. One of the challenges he has is he's middle-aged. Yeah. He's a little bit, he's older than what people think. He's 45. Not necessarily a kid. He's a guy that can go to AFCON and actually figure out how to work it out, you know?
Well, that's my point on it was going to be this. This is my take on it. Like Fahid was saying before, I think from what I've watched, I haven't watched 100 games of his, right? I've seen bits and pieces. From what I've watched, especially when we've seen what Harry Sawyer has done and stuff, he is probably good enough to be in an A-League squad.
He needs a shot.
Yeah, he at least needs a shot, right? That's the basic, right? He's good enough to be in an A-League squad, right? Because some of the players I've seen in the A-League, respectfully, and then you watch him. I know it's a different league, but you think like, okay, surely he deserves a shot. The only things, just looking at it from a third party here, because I love the guy. Like, he's the best guy.
Yeah,
ever.
we did a good interview with him in our vlog. You guys did in Avondale in Sydney.
But I believe he's 27, right?
Is he?
I believe.
I think he's
Can
younger.
we fact check that, please, Rob?
Amir
Abdallah. Now, you've just seen Manny Aguek.
Abdallah, yep.
You've just seen Manny Aguek go to the Thai First Division straight from the NPL. How old is he? 26, right?
27 this year.
You've seen Manny Aguek skip the A-League and go to the Thai Division, which most A-League players go to the A-League first, then go to somewhere like Thailand. My question is, he's just signed for Preston, where you know he's going to be on good coin, right? You're 26 years old. You're probably arguably the best paid player at the club. That's just an assumption. I don't know that. Does he need to go to the A-League to get his overseas opportunity?
He's not a capitalist, bro. He just wants to play pro football.
This
is true. 100%. And what is that, though, in 2021, 2022?
He played...
Where's that?
That looks like...
Samu, JK, Varprus.
Respectfully...
That looks like Finland.
Amir, you'll laugh at this, but I went on his boys podcast back in 2023, and he tried to tell me he was a pro footballer, and I was looking, no, come on, right?
What is that? Where is that?
I don't know.
That's Finland.
It's
Finland.
Is it? It's Finland.
Tallinn
I don't know if it was top flight or whatever, but he only played a few games there.
Either of them.
But
Finland.
he has had a shot at Perth.
Estonia.
Oh, Estonia.
Yeah, Estonia. I was like, bro, how did you end up in Estonia? That's right. I was pissing myself.
Yeah.
He did have a trial at Perth in the preseason. I think I'm not going to say he didn't deserve a contract because I'm pretty sure he did well there. But for anyone who knows that what's going on at Perth, they've got about 8 players that aren't training with the first team because they've signed too many players.
Right.
And they're going through a massive discourse of change. Like Taras Kamulka's played over 100 games in the A-League. He's been told he's never going to be in the squad.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I don't know I think there was a bit of politics of why he didn't get a chance there because he was doing okay.
Oh, please. No, the word politics when people.
Well, not politics, but I
think if he was good enough, he would have.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
I mean, that.
So let's just. My point on it is that I do support him. I believe he should be given a shot in the A-League because
he's a lovely footballer, man.
On
his day,
I don't care if it's just one goal. Like people are saying, it's one goal, it's one goal. It's not that. It's everything he's done in the NPL beforehand. This is just the culminating factor of, I guess, his hard work to go play AFCON against a team like Senegal.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is a lot of the people that are saying that is because of the goal. The reason they've seen him is because of the goal.
Yes.
And so they're basing it off that because their video might do well if they say it online or something.
Yes,
right?
but they don't know.
That doesn't mean he shouldn't get a shot.
They missed the pass that he did outside the box that led to a goal. That was
but obviously for him to be able to get there and survive there and then also score a goal like that, I think now does give the sort of the card of probably should get at least a bit of a shot.
Fahid, just you as an agent, right? And I briefly spoke to you. I may or may not have spoke to you about this, but with his performance, right, and you're an agent, he's obviously done really well in the NPL. He hasn't got a shot in the A-League, but he's gone to AFCON, played for Sudan, probably played in Sudan's biggest game in their history against Senegal and been an important factor of, making them have a chance of getting a result and scoring a great goal. Can an agent see now or a club overseas see that as an attractive proposition to go get him?
There's for sure. There's two.
Okay, maybe not an agent. Maybe not an agent. A club.
Yeah.
A club.
I mean, the prime about A-League is that's what we said. They would rather have a 16, 17 years old from their academy, not even close to play in A-League.
But to skip the A-League, I'm saying.
Go where?
I don't know, Asia, somewhere in Asia.
Sometimes you have some clubs in Asia, whatever. You might have even a club in A-League. They're probably just because of that goal. Maybe we can bring him here and look at him or whatever. Look, I don't know him. I didn't know him. To be honest, I have no idea. I don't watch NPL. I'm not interested. I'll be honest. So I have no clue who's good, not bad, or whatever. It's just because he's 26 and 27. The NPL teams this year showed the gap between A-League and NPL is getting close.
Mm-hmm.
It's not even. I would say there's no gap between the best 2 or 3 teams in NPL 1 and the bottom 2 or 3 in A-League. I don't even think there's a gap. If you train them every single day like an A-League team and you give them a little bit of resources, seriously, Heidelberg smashing Wellington,
Wanderers
and everything. I mean, You can lose. It happens to every team all around the world. But losing, getting smashed 3 or 4 or something at one point, and the quality, the gap is very, very, low, very small. I think he can play probably in A-League for 100% sure. I'm like, seriously, if he's one of the best players in NPL 1, he can play in A-League and he should be able to get a contract in A-League. Now, the way clubs see it, and I'll tell you straight away, they would rather have someone who's not close to him, a 16, 17 years old, to say he's from our academy. And just to have that being proud of, he's our product. But he's not good enough. As I said yesterday, I would rather have players like that and signing them and giving them a chance, because he might be very good for an A-League team. To be honest, I don't know him, so I can't say. But scoring goals in like African Cup, everything, it's not easy. Not everyone can do it. It's a top goal. So I'm sure he can help teams in A-League. But now it's also him. Look, between the money an A-League team is going to give it to you. Yeah. Because sometimes it's better to work. You make more money if you have a good job and you make, like, whatever, you have your contract with an NPL team. You make much more money than A-League. Oh, yeah. So that's where sometimes people don't understand. All around the world and almost everywhere, where you are professional players, you make more money than 99% of the country.
But then, by the way, I went back into the A-League at 26. 26. And then played one season.
At 26?
First,
What do you mean
at 26? I had a year off, remember? I left Victory, I stopped for a year. Yeah. Then came back, played NPL, came back to Wanderers for a season, didn't play the first half of the season, only the second half of the season, and then got a move to Korea. So then all of a sudden, it's like, all right, that 1 year in the A-League does way more for your life. Financially, for your career, for life experience.
Well, I think just because of the timing of the season, I know it's January, so maybe, but something has to go his way for a door to open, and then someone's going to be willing to put money in his pocket.
To be honest, like, you know what, in Malaysia, Thailand, India, everything, sometimes, and to be honest, you have clubs, and with all due respect, they just look at YouTube to sign players, especially in Asia. Yeah. So they have no clue. They just.
I'm pretty sure that's how I was signed. By the way,
I swear to God, bro, you sign. They sign, some of the clubs sign players on highlights. So they don't know anything. You make someone look like Messi, and then they get a contract, and it does happen. So look, man, I wish him. To be honest, I wish him all the best. I mean, it's crazy, as I said, like Heidelberg, because it's the only team, to be honest, I saw during the finals, everything doing well. You see 1 or 2 players, the way they play everything, you said maybe it's for, if they can play in A-League for 100% sure. And when I mean play, there's different thing between playing for Sydney FC, Melbourne Victory, and playing for the bottom 2 or 3 clubs. That's a very different level. So when you look at those young players, some of the club, I hope for him that he gets something, but it's not that easy, man.
Look at Sabit. He scored on the weekend. And he's just another.
The boy from African boy from Central Coast. He played Heidelberg.
He played Heidelberg. Like
the one who scored yesterday.
Again,
yeah.
Played for Heidelberg.
The one who he played for Heidelberg.
Yeah. Like, so NPL players are scoring.
He was on loan though from Central Coast to Heidelberg. Something real strange.
I don't know how that even worked.
So but the whole season.
Look,
at the bare minimum, he needs a trial.
Like, at least needs a chance.
Tries, bro.
Yeah,
tries in like, I mean.
But how else are they going to sign him, bro? Just off that.
Okay, Rash. We in A-League here. At one point, you look at the level. If you go to watch as a kid play NPL 1, it's not, as I said, the level is not, it's very small. The margin is very small for me, the gap between A-League and NPL. So if you see someone, scoring 10 goals and 14 assists and this and that, you can think there's half of the kids who play for CD and everything, to be honest, like, with all due respect to them, they can't play in NPL 1. They cannot play in NPL 1. This year they would play in NPL 1, but last year they were playing in NPL 2, man. There's a gap between NPL 2 and NPL 1.
But what does the club lose by doing a trial?
Why would you take that? I'm telling you to sign him. I'm telling you not to. If you go and watch him play 10 times or something, because clubs in A-League, I'll tell you straight away, bro. Look, I got involved in some trials. Some of the clubs ask you to pay for the player has to pay for his flight, accommodation. Mm-hmm. So 1 week, you got to pay for flight, accommodation, the food. So which means if you're not young, if you work, you gotta get 1 week off. Not everyone can do it. If it's during the season, you're training with your NPL team or whatever, they can't afford it. And you have some clubs, you ask them to get him on they can't even organize it. Some other clubs can, and have done it. 2 minutes. I look at Perth. One of the young players signed them, and they flew him for a trial, everything. Very respected, like, seriously, they've done the right thing, and he ended up signing. But some clubs, they ask you to pay for everything. They're no organization. So not easy, man. If he's good, you sign him.
Just to wrap on that, I do want to say again from all of us here, bro, congrats. AFCON is an incredible tournament,
well done, Aamir.
and we're all proud of you, bro, especially being a Melbourne boy. Just to end, Fahid, did you play in an AFCON?
No, I refused to do it twice.
Really?
Refused.
Now, was that because of the pressure that comes with being not the pressure, I shouldn't say that. Is it just the craziness of playing for Tunisia? Like what? Why?
Nah, my first year I was at Angers. I was supposed to get transferred to Marseille, and I was in second division. The sport director from Marseille came. My wife picked him up after one game. Everything went to the whole. Like, to be honest, we went to a restaurant with my agent, and Saint-Etienne also were interested, and he was like, "But it's gonna happen." It was January, so transfer window, and I was like, "I'm not going." That was gonna be my first cap with Angers. Roger Lemaire, the coach, was French. He's French, and he wanted me, and I was like, "No, I'm not going." And the second time,
But you got selected.
I got said, he wanted me to be in the squad,
Right.
and I told him, I said, "Look, to be honest,
Yeah, okay.
I don't want to come because hopefully I'm gonna get transferred."
Yeah.
And I've lost both. I didn't get transferred, and I missed the African Cup. And the second one, we lost qualification for the World Cup in Mozambique with Tunisia. They sacked the coach. They called the coach who was from Tunisia, a Tunisian one. Like, we had Humberto Coelho, who was Portuguese, coached Portugal, everything.
Yeah, I remember that
And
name.
do you?
Yeah,
Or you
Coelho.
just say like,
No.
She knows Humberto Coelho.
yeah, that's why.
I don't fucking play football. I better know about it.
And so a couple of months later, we had the qualification. We had actually the African Cup, and this new coach came. That was a year at Valenciennes, my daughter's first birthday as well. That was her first year, and I was like, "No, I wanted to go." And he came out by saying, the players playing for Tunisia are as good or if not better than the players playing overseas, and blah, blah. And when he made the squad, I think we were just like few of us playing overseas. And in my opinion, was like, doesn't make any sense. And he's
Playing in the Tunisian league, most of the players?
That's what he was saying.
Oh, okay.
And I got really offended as I started getting like really pissed with the new coach. I didn't know him, and I was like, "Oh man, I'm not gonna like him." So I started having arguments with him. Then they wanted us to go before Christmas, and I was like, "Nah, man, look, I don't believe in God. That's me. And I respect that. My parents are Muslim and everything. Whatever, it's fine. Everyone is entitled to his opinion and religion or whatever. But because you don't celebrate Christmas, I kind of like, for me, it was like I explained, it was also the first Christmas of my daughter." And he was like, "I don't give a shit." I was like, "Well,
Oh, wow.
man, there's no chance." And then kind of like we tried to make it at something, and he was just a dickhead, and I was like, "Fuck him." And I seriously like, and
Was that the
I'll
end of
tell
your
you the I'll tell you the
international
story.
career?
Yeah, pardon?
Was that for the last time you ever played for Tunisia?
That was in the middle. And
Oh,
so what happened,
That's
to be honest,
amazing.
and look, I'll tell you the story because it's crazy, and not a few people know that. So I didn't want to go because of that. The fact he didn't call a lot of foreigners, or not foreigners, but players playing overseas, like the politic in national team in Africa is crazy. Like, so I'm not gonna use the word corruption, but to be honest, there's a lot of things. I was really pissed, the coach, the way he got sacked, and I was like, "Nah, man, I have my personality, which is not easy sometimes to deal with. To be honest, I'll be honest. I've got a big mouth, and I was saying, nah, man, I don't want to be there with him. I don't want to come." There, fortunately for me, they send a letter to the club because you have a window. It's 12 days before the competition, the date, whatever. They send it after that, so I could play for my club. So I called my club and I was like, "I'm not going." Then the coach was like, "Are you sure? Like, it's important. Like, it's up to you. If you don't go, man, it's great for me." Like, I was doing really well with Valenciennes. I was like top goal scorer in my team, best assist. I was having a very good season, and I refused to go. And man, I was mayhem. Like, the journalist destroyed me. I was seriously like, they hated me. Like, went from they loved me to they hated me, but like crazy. I was leaving my phone for like an hour, and I was coming back, and you had like 60 phone calls from Tunisia, journalists, everyone just annoying me. They went like to my family's place, everything in Tunisia as a journalist. Like, it was crazy. And I was like, yeah, fuck that. And a couple of months later, they sacked the coach and they brought a new coach back. And the new coach we played against, the following game was against France, a friendly game. And the coach called me. He was like, look, you still want to play? I said, man, I love playing for my country. Like, the best thing. But I didn't want to play with what he said, everything. And maybe it's something I'm going to regret, but I know how I am. If I say something and I stick to it, man, that's how I am. Like, you know what? I don't give a shit. Like, you know, maybe I have regrets on things I've done in my career, but that's how I am and I'm proud of it. And to be honest, I was like, fuck me, man. If I say yes, I'm coming back. And I said, look, man, maybe call me after the French game because people are going to say he's coming back for the French game. And he was like, no, it's fine. Like, you know, I'll call you everything. I swear to God, bro. I was like, oh, fuck, I'll go. Went there at the airport. The cops, they looked like they wanted to kill me. Like, you go to
The
an
cops
African
wanted to kill you.
Oh, man, you go to, and to be honest, Tunisia is like a European country in Africa. Like, the way the mentality was very different back then. Going to the airport, and I was like, man, like, you go through the customs, said, why did you not come? Why? You start putting pressure, like, they smash you, to be honest. I was like, fuck me, man. Like, you know, I'm not like, you know, and you can't open your mouth. Like, you got to be very careful.
What are you going to say?
Go to the hotel. So the coach and the assistant coach was actually someone I knew, everything. Ali Boumnigel, he was a former goalkeeper, unbelievable person. Also played in France, everything. So he was with me. Like, he was like, hey, look, man, a lot of people are going to ask you the question. They need you to do a press conference to explain. I said, no, I'm not doing it. And I was like, look, the new president of federation, we have a dinner in front of everyone. He comes, blah, blah, and he calls me by my last name in front of everyone. Hey, Ben Khalfallah, like, I want you to explain to us why you didn't come to the national team. It was new. I was like, I don't have to explain to you anything, man. And I was like, look, man, I think you've got the wrong person here. Now, I'm not going to explain. And he started, I was like, you think who the fuck do you think you are? And I was like, man,
How old are you at this point?
20.
That's crazy.
26.
That's crazy. You got balls, bro.
And then I went to my room. Coach comes, and some of the players came, everything, and asked me, look, man, like, you know, you need to explain. I was like, man, if you ask me things politely, that's one thing. But if you force me to do things, nah, that's different, man. Hey, look, you know what? I'm a man, man. I respect myself. If you don't respect me, I don't give a shit who you are. You can be a billionaire, the most important person. I don't respect you. It doesn't matter. But if you respect me, whatever. And then we said, okay, let's try to do something. I spoke quickly. I said the same thing. I said, look, I didn't like what the coach said, blah, blah. That's the reason why I didn't want to come. I love playing for my country.
Is this the press conference or the dinner?
Press conference. No, I didn't talk to the
you didn't talk to the dinner. Okay.
We go to the game, and I was playing so we just finished the season with Valenciennes, and I finished second in assist in Ligue 1, and I scored 10 goals, I think, with club. So I was best goal scorer in my team and best in assist, and I was having a very good season. And clubs were talking about me making a move, so I knew I was in a good position, like, as a footballer. So we go to the game, stadium. My name get booed straight away. Like, straight away, like, warm up. Every time I touch the ball, boo, whatever. And bro, I swear to God, after like 2 or 3 minutes, I do 1 or 2 things. I take, was Evra, I take him on, 1 or 2 good things. And then the crowd starts changing. Man of the match. And so man of the match, all of a sudden in France, they were talking like that. Obviously in France, people knew 1 or 2 clubs. On the president of Lyon live, he says like, I always liked him. I want him to come to the club, blah, blah. The president of the federation does an interview. He's our best player. We love him, blah, blah. He called me 2 days later. If you need anything, man, like, he went to, like, hating me to, like, the following day at the airport, man, you're the god here, whatever you need, blah, blah. It's
That's
like,
why you let your feet do the talking,
it's
man.
like, seriously. Then I got transferred, actually, a couple of weeks later to Bordeaux, which was back then one of the biggest clubs in France. And after with Bordeaux, went back with the national team. A French coach got elected, and everything goes well with him. We go to Botswana. We have an international game there, qualification. We lost, and something happened. A couple of players didn't get paid, whatever, the same amount. So that was like a year later or something, or 18 months later. And we called the president of the federation, said, man, a lot of players are complaining about it. And he was like, yeah, I said, man, some of the players don't want to play the game. The coach gave me the captaincy. The only time that he gave me the captaincy for that game, the captain was injured. So I was the vice captain just for that game. We go see the coach. I said, man, we have an issue. Like some of the players are not happy. I don't know what's going on, blah, blah. So we call the president. Yeah, I'll fix it, man. I'll fix it, blah. We played the game. We lost. So I go back directly to Bordeaux, everything. Some players go back to Lens and Germany. Monday, coach calls me. He said, oh, just to let you know, I resigned. I was like, what? He said, they put the blame on you, Yaya, myself, asking, apparently you guys were asking for more bonuses, everything to play the game. I was like, what? The assistant coach back then didn't say one thing. And I was like, bro, I was fuming. I was like, what the fuck? I said, man, don't quit. Like, we'll, to be honest, like, he was like, nah, look, man, I don't respect that. Man, the coach, the assistant coach took the team and he didn't say anything. Didn't protect him, didn't say the truth, didn't say anything about what happened. I knew, bro, the following camp, what was going to happen. That was my last game. I knew. We went there and I was like, holding things like, I was like, it's going to take one thing where I'm just going to explode. Like, I'm going to go crazy. And we go for this camp for a friendly game. We played in Oman. We stayed in Dubai for whatever, 1 week. It's like a shit camp, and he called like a lot of new players, everything. And I was like not in the mood with him. I was like, I don't respect him because you don't have a face to me. When you do that kind of stuff, if you stab someone behind his back, I can't stand it. And I know I can't close my mouth. I don't have a filter, unfortunately, sometimes. And bro, I swear to God, man, they didn't organize anything for our way back to the club. So the morning of the game, friendly game, we had to organize our trip back, everything, the foreigners. Anyway, we played this game. I think we drew, whatever. And we go back to the hotel and the coach starts having telling things like, yeah, some of the players don't think about the national team. They think about that shit, blah, blah. My brain snapped, bro. My brain snapped. Shut the fuck up. You can't. Like, I went like to a level where, fuck off, man. You know what? You're a piece of shit. I know like you betrayed him, everything. You're a snake. Like, you know what? I will never play with you anymore, blah, blah. Left. Went to the airport, everything. Went back to Bordeaux. I never played. That was my last game.
Wow.
He stayed for a couple of years after that.
Jesus, man.
But I
Unlike
always
you
say
to cause
to people, man,
fireworks.
I always said the national team is the best thing that can happen to someone. And I was so proud to play for the national team of Tunisia. For me, it was just like love and hate.
Yeah.
But as a person, how I am, I will not tell my players, the players I work with, to be like that because it's not going to help you. But I respect myself. So I always say, man, if I have something to say, and people sometimes they say, oh, yeah, that's how he is. Yeah, well, you know what? Yeah, that's how that is. If I have something to say, I will say it. And to be honest, I tell my daughter today to be that kind of person. But because when you look in the mirror, you don't have to. I know if I tell you something and it's because I'll tell you the truth. You like it, you don't like it, it's fine. Man, that was crazy. So I played a couple of years with Tunisia, and then to be honest, it stopped at a good time because of that. And I was like too proud or whatever to apologize. Maybe I wouldn't because I know what he did.
Yeah.
So that was the story, man.
Did they ever make a World Cup while you were playing?
So we lost that qualification. That was the worst game. Like the saddest moment, to be honest, like that moment was the worst in my career. We played, I can't remember. We have time?
Yeah, 2 minutes.
We played, I can't remember, at home. We won. We were ahead of Nigeria. We were, I think, 2 points ahead of them. We won, and we're waiting at the end of the pitch, and the guy is announcing Nigeria just drew, so we qualified for the World Cup. So everyone starts celebrating.
Oh, no
and like
way.
1 minute later, he's like, oh, no, actually they won. So we are still
Oh
ahead.
my God,
bro. Listen to that story, bro.
You got to get that right.
So, bro, we were on the
No, you
pitch.
don't. AFCON.
So, bro, we on the pitch and was like,
World Cup.
okay, so now listen, bro.
made
So a week
Oh, no,
later,
you haven't.
so not a week later, I think
Sorry,
we
I
have a
read the
game
names
away.
back to front.
We're going to Mozambique. We're going to Mozambique, and we have I think we were 2 points ahead of them. But we needed to win because I had a better goal difference. I think so. I can't remember. We're playing in Mozambique, bro. It's a team we smashed like 5 or 6-0 at home. We end up going there. You see those players playing. It's like, man, we just play against Ronaldinho, Neymar, like they were unbelievable. So, man, It was like artificial grass, 45 degrees.
Oh, fuck.
My feet were burning, man. I was like, we're never gonna win that game. Like, I don't know how we can win this game. We cop a goal and we lost. The coach, I'll be honest, he took me off, whatever, 75th minute. We were just watching. We had the TV for Nigeria playing Kenya. We were just watching that because we knew we had no chance to win the game, bro. So we lost the game. Nigeria is losing It's losing 1-0 against Kenya.
Right.
85th minute or something, they score 1 goal. And 94th minute, they score second goal. So that's how we lost the qualification. Bro, the worst moment in my life as a footballer, I cried like I never cried. Man, in a changing room, it took me seriously like a week. Like, it was so hard, so painful because we were first the whole fucking qualification, whole stage, group stage, everything. And to just like 1 goal like that, I think even a draw, we qualified. I think we had 2 points. We had a better goal difference
So it was all on goal difference?
No, they were, because they won, they were ahead of us. I think we had a better goal difference. They had to win. And
from what sorry, they were losing 1-0 and then they won 2-1.
They were losing 1-0. They scored like, was like 85th or 89th minute or something, and they scored a second goal extra time. And then
so they won 2-1.
They won 2-1. We lost 1-0. And bro, it took me seriously. And I remember the coach in Valenciennes I had, where he took me and he was like, man, I was at training 3 days, 4 days. Like, I was like, man, it's sad. And to be honest, like, and he came to me and he was like, look, how you feeling? And I was like, I don't know, man. Like, you know, it's like letting everyone down, the whole country down.
So this 2010?
Yeah. And Juan won it. So, and I was like, and it was in Africa, the first one in Africa, everything. And I was like, man, it's playing for an African country is a different feeling than playing for Australia, for example, even though people live for football. Like, the whole country stop when the national team
One
plays.
result can change the feeling of the whole country.
And even in African, like Cameroon, Nigeria, it's even worse, like, or better, I would say, in a sense where in Tunisia, we have a European mentality, like Morocco, Algeria, it's a little bit different. African, like, you know, black countries, everything, it's more
do or die.
You can make them happy for 90 minutes. The whole world, you change the whole world for 90 minutes. So when you play in those countries, it's a different feeling. Yeah. But even when you play for Tunisia, when you play that qualification, the whole country stops and watch you play. And not going through, bro, that was the worst moment in my career. And going back, and the coach was like, look, now you got to refocus everything. And like, your objective today is like, let's try to go like to a top club at the end of season. Like, you know, he helped me, man, for 1 week, man. I didn't want to speak. I swear to God, that was the worst thing. And then when people go through things like, you know, you don't qualify, you lose everything. It's crazy, man. African countries, it's
different.
But
yeah, I was
team, it's always been then.
I was in Kenya watching the World Cup when I was a kid. I was like 11 or 12. I remember that experience, and Kenya wasn't even in the bloody game.
They choose a team though.
So sick, man.
But it's different because you watch Australia playing the World Cup when they qualified and everything, and you have that feeling like everyone is behind supporting. But it's the same like if it was like in Olympics or whatever. Like, you know, everyone here, regardless what kind of sports, they would go behind that team in moment. Football is the only thing in Africa, or especially like, for example, Tunisia, where the whole country will just stop for that moment. And those things are very different. And that's why, man, I couldn't play. I had a chance to play twice. The African Cup, I refused it twice. So, but it is what it is, man.
It is what it is, man.
At least you played for Nana Wadding.
At least you played for Sandy.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Fahid, thank you so much. We are not done, though. If you want more content, if you want the juicy stuff, pause. We're talking all things Mata and Wanderers over on Patreon with Fahid. So sign up if you haven't.
When's that coming out? The Patreon.
Thursday, 4 p.m.
Thursday, 4 p.m.
Be there.
Be there. Fahid, thank you again, man. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, man.
Boys, Rob, have a good New Year, guys. We'll be back next week. We out.